Let's go, people. Let's go. Share the show. Let's get this thing going. Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones. Ohio is definitely in the building. Let's go, people. Gunsmoke Show. Share the show. Hit the like button. I see you. Salute to my inner circle. My peoples up in this situation. Give me 1 second. You guys know that we got to set the vibe. We definitely got to get the incense in the building. Hopefully everybody had a pretty cool weekend. No DWIs, right? No over the weekend trips to the county jail, right? Because you know we don't do that. No unnecessary trouble, people. No unnecessary trouble. Listen, give me a second. I gotta do this. Let's get this TikTok going. We got action. We definitely have action. Salute to all of my day ones, all my stay ones. And I'm definitely rocking with all of my people who have become members of the show, right? You guys are going to have access to pretty much everything that we have going on. Some of you may not have noticed it or seen it yet, but a lot of our hottest content, it's right up under the members only. Those of you who see, let me see something. Booyah. These are the badges. This is my inner circle. This is my inner circle. Those of you, the white badge is for people who just became members. The black badge is for people who have been members of the show for a month and more, right? You have access to all of the hottest content. Not only that, for those of you who don't understand the initials, those of you who don't understand the initials, TRSPTIC, the inner circle. These are people who are going to have access to lives that I do, right? When I want certain things done, I'm going to lean on these people for their opinions, right? The people who are members, you will see, I will put announcements when I'm going to be doing live, because there's things that I want to do to the show that the people who are members, I'm going to lean on you guys for your opinion to help us make this thing what we know it is, right? But listen, shout out to all of my day ones and all of my stay ones definitely in the building, people. And salute to my inner circle, right? We have a lot of people who subscribed as members to the YouTube. It's growing, right? The whole purpose of that is we have... we have content that I don't want to make public for certain reasons, but it's also content that's so hot that I don't want my people who are serious about this channel to miss out on it. You can tell that they're serious about channel because they're subscribers. They're members of the channel, right? Those of you who would like to become members of the channel, you know how to do it. There's going to be lives that we're going to do to where most of our lives, only members will be able to see these, right? Only members will be able to comment. Some of the people who are members, I'm thinking if you are a member, you should be able to see one of the white badge by your name right now, I'm thinking. So maybe there's not any members down there in the comments right now. Let me see. Okay, so why doesn't he have... Oh, Facebook, okay. So if you're a member and you're over here on YouTube, you'll be able to see a badge by your name, I'm pretty sure, whenever we have these lives. Your comments, when I see a badge down in the comments next to your name, those are the comments that I'm going to give priority to reading in front of everybody, right? But listen, we got heat, people. As you know, we don't do shows that don't come with thermonuclear... go... Yeah, that's cool, I guess. I guess that's cool. Yeah, we can do it like that, but I like this better. Dang it, I didn't know it was going to do that. Let's do it like this then. Let's go, TikTok. Listen, people, we have a hell of a show today. We're also going to make sure that a certain amount of times in the week that we make sure we pay tribute to the late, great Kevin Samuels, right? This show right here is going to be phenomenal. Our shows keep getting better and better and better. But this show right here is going to help you guys to understand what set a lot of women off, right? Let's get to it, though. I want to introduce you guys to what made the late, great Kevin Samuels so legendary. He created a system that allowed us to bypass women's ability to avoid constructive criticism. Not bashing, not any of those things. Okay, so that means this has to be the old TikTok. I mean, the new one. And it is. Yep. Let's get over here to where the people are already expecting us. Let's go, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. We went to the account that had 200 people instead of 60,000. Let's get to it. Embrace the grace. Definitely in this building. Again, those of you who see the badges off to the right-hand side, these are the badges that will be by the name of the people who have become members. I think it's $2.99 a month to be a member, right? The first badge is for people who the white badge is for people who just became members. The black badge is for people who have been members a month or longer, right? And salute to all of the people who bombarded and became members. Nothing but love to you. But listen, let's get to this thing. This is what the late, great Kevin Samuels did. He created a system that allowed us to bypass women's ability to avoid constructive criticism. Not bashing. That's one more that they still use. Before the late, great Kevin Samuels came, women had an arsenal of weapons that were very effective against people's constructive criticism of them, right? Against people's opinions, unbiased opinions. If you had constructive criticism for a woman, or the things that maybe she could work on a little bit to be a little bit better person, she would simply say, that's your opinion. Right? She would say, that's your opinion. Opinions is like assholes. Everybody has one. The late, great Kevin Samuels introduced us to a method of substantiating your opinions through methods of facts, statistics, historical data, right? The history of things that have been proven to be effective throughout history, right? This was so effective, it caused women to melt down because they no longer had the ability to say, that's just your opinion, in order to avoid a conversation. They no longer had the ability to say opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, to avoid any type of criticism someone would have of them and brush it off without having to acknowledge the accusation laid against them that it just may have some validity to it. This system that he put in place, men were already talking like this because men are logical creatures. We try to present to you, we can prove this. We see you doing that. You have 3 children by 3 different men. This is why so many women resorted to wishing death upon the late, great Kevin Samuels. Because when a woman demonstrates a behavior that you can look up in the dictionary and attach it to a clinical diagnosis, when she's living a lifestyle that you can look up and prove to her has historically resulted in bad outcomes, it removes her ability to use what was once their primary weapon of choice. That's your opinion, right? If you tell them most men aren't really attracted to women who have multiple children by multiple, that's your opinion. It's somebody for everybody, right? Because even if she did want to continue to believe that lie, in the privacy of her own home, it's difficult to lie to yourself. It's difficult to not acknowledge, no, on his live, he looked it up in the dictionary right then and there. No, on his live, he pulled up the clinical diagnosis and it kind of matched how I live my life. See, it forced women across the globe to acknowledge how poorly they were living their lives. And that, in fact, a large part of the failures that they were experiencing in their personal lives and in their dating lives was, in fact, because of them. When before, they were able to say, men ain't shit. That's why you're experiencing all these bad outcomes. It's not because of the things that you're doing. Shout out to Love Lace up in this situation, lacing us up with the Cash App. And I want to appreciate my people who have been supporting the show financially here lately too. Those of my people who are new to the show but been rocking with us ever since they've been rocking with us. I appreciate you guys taking some of the financial pressure off of other people who are regular supporters of the show. That's how we get to a higher and higher caliber of quality in our show, of quality in our production. So I appreciate you guys. Hi, I don't have any children, but I meet men that have multiple kids. What's your take on that? There is no take. As long as they're good men, they won't present themselves as a burden into your guys' relationship dynamic because 80 to 85% of the time, the mothers have the children, right? And the example that I always like to give people is if me and you are in a relationship, the proof that a man with multiple children isn't going to hinder a relationship to the degree that a woman with multiple children will. If me and you are in a situation and I come into your house, listen, J Miles definitely in the building, supporting the cat show with the Cash App. J Miles been rocking with us since he been rocking with us. I appreciate you. Uh, if me and you walk through the door and passion intensifies, I could spread you eagle on the floor in the living room and have my way with you. And I will never have to go, shh, baby, the kids. But you will. You will. So that's my take on it. As long as he's a decent human being, notice I didn't say amazing man. Notice I didn't say a great man. Long as he's a decent human being, you're winning. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the content, I'm going to say what I always say. Stop leaving men for cheating unless they're chronic cheaters. I'm going to get blunter about this now. You guys are leaving men and ending up single, going through catastrophes on the dating highway for years. For years. So what the hell was the purpose of leaving the guy if you leave him because you say you value your peace, but you get out on the dating highway and experience the opposite of peace for years? Body being used up, probably accumulating more kids, accumulating more sex partners, experiencing more trauma. It doesn't make sense. Drop your pride. I wouldn't leave a man just for cheating once. I can respect that. Yes, ma'am, he's dismissed from having multiple children. But if he has the mentality of someone, if he has the mentality, still has the mentality of a multiple baby maker, don't mess with him because he's still dysfunctional. He's still dysfunctional. I don't condone men getting out there and spreading seed and not being in a long-term relationship with the women that they got in these relationships. But men mature longer than women do, and we can grow into better human beings, and we often do. Women appear to grow into worse human beings because the older they get, the more children that they start having without being in a relationship with the person. As women grow older, they start having more sex, right? And they start doing further damage to themselves. I highly encourage people, stop leaving men for cheating 3 or 4 times. If he's starting to cheat more than 3 or 4 times, leave him though. But listen, you're not doing better when you leave them statistically. Things aren't getting better for you. You're jumping back out there. When you could have stayed with him, you would have avoided jumping back out there and meeting Mitchell. Now you have a cluster of bumps on the side of your clitoris that will be there for the rest of your life. It's not smart. And it's only your ego. It's only your ego. Because even if you're a good mom, for real, then you know how important it is for a child to be raised up in the house with a father figure. And if that's very important to you, that your children turn out well, then in a lot of cases, you will sacrifice even your happiness to make sure that the children turn out well, that the children have that essential element in their lives. See, because if you sacrifice a little bit of happiness for a year, 6 months or something like that, you could have made a sacrifice. And throughout that time you were sacrificing, that man has come to his crossroad and he's not even a cheater no more. Now you're only stuck with that decent man. But you guys don't do that. You just get rid of the guy and then you're out there with multiple sexual partners. You're out there with multiple sexual partners. Shout out to Miss Elizabeth. Listen, yeah, this is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. It's crazy. It's crazy what you guys trade for. What you guys trade for is crazy. You tell your baby daddy, listen, I'm going to jump right back to the show, but we're going to nail this really fast. We're going to nail this really fast. Here's what you guys do. My baby daddy, who keeps me from being a baby mama because I'm with the person who gave me my children. As long as you are with the person who gave you your children, you're not a baby mama. Okay? I'm going to get rid of him for cheating. Become a baby mama in the eyes of all of the potential candidates that I'm interested in. And because I'm a baby mama, my dating quality is going to drop in their eyes pretty significantly, especially if you have more than one child. And then you're going to let him do 5 times worse to you than what you got rid of your baby daddy for doing. Your baby daddy cheated, but he was a good man. You got rid of him for somebody who cheats, whips ass, and what you didn't know on the low, he likes to touch small children too. We will never understand the mind of a woman. These things are so elementary and so simple to us to where we don't understand why you guys don't get it. It's your pride. Your sister wolf packs have convinced you, girl, you don't put up with no shit from no man. Okay. I want to ask all of the ladies who are on all 3 of these platforms right now. The women you know. The women who are in your circle. The women who are in your family. Those of them who got rid of a man, be honest with your brother. Be honest. Once they left him, did they do better than him? Or did they meet a lot of bumps in the road before they got into another relationship quite some time later? And a lot of them didn't end up in a better relationship. A lot of them are still out there on the chopping block getting their butts blasted. And that whole time, you have cheated yourselves out of that goofy somebody to walk in the house after work and just do something goofy with him. Jump on his back and start tickling him under his arms. Then he lays on the couch while you're on his back and you guys just cuddle and you just lift your arm up and turn a movie on with your remote control. Kick your high heels off and mess around and fall to sleep on his back. If we could just lay out a clear visual of what all you guys are missing out on the entire times that you're single, you would hate yourselves. Have you guys ever noticed that angry girls don't like happy girls? Have you ever noticed that? See, because the happy girls have reasons to be happy. She can't wait to go home to that man. She's a goofball in that house, and he embraces her for who she is. She goes home sometime, and he's washing the dishes. And she reaches her arm around his waist and grabs his package while his hands are in that bubbly water. Kisses him on the back of his head. You don't have that.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
You guys are missing out on amazingness. I know what it's like to be loved. I know what it's like to have someone in your life. I want you guys to pay attention to the way that I said that. Have someone in your life. For all of the purposes. Look, I'm sitting up here bored. Let me get up and go irritate her. I want to watch a movie, but I don't feel like watching a movie by myself. There she is. She's an incentive for me to order some food in and for us to chill together. Listen, the mood is better when I turn on some Earth, Wind, and Fire while me and her cuddled up by the fireplace. You guys are missing it, missing the forest for the trees. But that's on you. Okay, Miss Elizabeth. Hold on, Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth definitely in the building. I'm going to interrupt the show for a minute. Miss Elizabeth, let me know if you want to come up and address your question. I'll interrupt the show for a second. Give me a thumbs up. The Holy Ghost be down there putting it on. But listen, that's what the late great Kevin Samuels system did, right? It exposed the fact that a large part of the failures that women are experiencing in life and in their dating life is because of them. The system that he put together using facts, statistics, data, historical data, it made it hard for them to run. It made it hard for them to say, that's just your opinion. No, I'll look it up right now and screen share you. That's the part that made them hate him. It's because a lot of them had developed the ability to derive high levels of pleasure from living the lives of a scoundrel. A lot of you don't want to admit that you have learned to experience pleasure from living in darkness, from going to the club every time it opened up, from being all over the dating sites, letting people smash you when you're bored. Some of you get smashed even when you don't even feel like having sex. You just need some company. You just need some companionship. So some of you, and there's studies on this, to be honest. Some of you, TikTok released some data, and it was talking about this. Some of you know, most women, overwhelming majority of women, they can go into their TikTok and their social medias, and there's like an overwhelming number of men who have DM'd them. They can get someone to come over their house in less than hours' notice. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not on here often at all, but I saw your message and your profile was cute. So I feel like I had to respond. They talk for about 20 minutes. If that woman really wants some company, all she has to do is say, well, I'm not doing nothing now. And we all know most men are getting up and going over there to smash. This is what I'm telling you. Most of you found a way to be comfortable living the lifestyle of a lower quality person. And the information presented to them suggested to them what caliber of person that they were due to living their lives in a less than moral way. So it almost literally, his system that he put together, it almost literally forced a lot of women to say, I am an immoral person. When we can pull up statistics, historical data, and just get in the dictionary, encyclopedia, and look up the word immorality, and the examples that it gives clearly depict a lot of the behaviors you exhibit throughout the day, it forced them to not be able to run from the fact that, okay, I'm an immoral person. It forced women at the bare minimum to have to contemplate the fact that they could be experiencing these bad dating experiences because of the things that they are doing, right? The things that they are doing, they're setting them back, keeping them from being what men want, keeping them from having those experiences with men. It forced them to have to acknowledge that you are the problem. That is enough to make someone wish death upon you. When you can prove to them that they are the problem, he used BMI charts and the average height and the average weight of a man to substantiate to women that you are not, in fact, BBW, but instead you are actually obese. And there's nothing cute about it when you are chronically obese, right? And when you say that's your opinion and things like that, no, he would say you weigh more than the average man. This is why women hated Kevin Samuels, because he gave them nowhere to run. He created a system that removed their ability to run from confrontation, removed their ability to run from constructive criticism. He used things that could be looked up and proven to put some women's flaws on full display in front of themselves. It gave them nowhere to run to. Usually a woman can say, what about a man? If you bring something that she could be doing better, right? Some flaws that she has, some constructive criticism, right? She'll say, what about men? Or usually she could lean on racism, how badly she was raised, right? Norma. 1,000 apologies, people. I really hate to hear things like that. People, cherish your loved ones. Because you just don't know. It happens just like that. It happens just like that, right? Cherish your loved ones. Okay, Elizabeth, I will be dropping a link to you in 5 minutes. I'll be dropping a link so you can come on up. But listen, this is what he did. This is why people hated the late, great Kevin Samuels. The system that he had put together was outside of his opinion, right? So it gave them nowhere to run to. Again, usually a woman can come up with compound excuses. Racism, how bad she was raised, all of the things that they typically use to keep from having to acknowledge the roles that they play in their own bad life outcomes, right? There's a formula that I myself personally use, right? I came up with this for when obese women, to keep obese women from leaning on, well, you may not like my weight, but there's somebody for everybody, right? Or beauty's in the eye of the beholders. I tell them, if you look around in society at men who are wealthy, men who are famous, of notable stature, right? Men who have their pick of women. These men can pick any woman they want. How many of them have a wife who is your size? And they think, they can't name Tom Cruise. They can't name Michael B. Jordan, right? This almost forces a woman to see that when given a choice, that is not what men want to marry. But where the hatred comes from and women wishing death upon you, if they don't like to acknowledge that, there's nowhere to run to. There's no excuse to make. The thing that he just said, why do you guys think that you often hear me ask women who come up here and just completely shit on the show? I ask them, name something that I have said that is a lie. And it forces them to understand that I'm mad at something other than his information. Because off of the top of my head right now, I'm familiar with the real... What the hell? I'm familiar with the real Stacey Prince's content. I'm familiar with his content. But off the top of my head, I can't name anything legitimately that is wrong. They're thinking really hard. They wish to God that they could, right? The reason that they wish death upon you is because they don't like to acknowledge that they have become something that a quality man isn't going to marry. This is where the hatred comes from. The reason is because to become something that a quality man wouldn't mind marrying, it requires work. And putting in the work is something that the average woman, especially African-American woman, doesn't have the discipline to do, right? So instead of putting in the work, she finds a way to justify staying the way she is. This is why so many of them don't realize that they're chronically single. For those of you who don't understand what I mean when I say chronically single, this is ongoing. This isn't you were single, then you got into a 3-year relationship. No, this is chronically single. It's because they're stuck in a realm of being what quality men don't desire. And they are the type of women who won't do the work to become what quality men desire. So they travel throughout life only having access to lower quality men, right? The late, great Kevin Samuels created a system that made it hard for women to run from the truth of what was really holding them back in their lives and in their dating lives. Oh, they hated him. See, because one thing that women love, they love to be able. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go. Elizabeth, I'm dropping a link right now. Miss Elizabeth is someone who reached out to me with a genuine question. So I told her that I would bring her up on the. If you click the link down in the chat, Miss. Oh, what's happening here? If you click the link down in the chat, Miss Elizabeth, it'll bring you up. There she goes. In and out. In and out. Miss Elizabeth.
Hello.
Tell me how your night is going.
I clicked it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Tell me how your night is going.
It's going pretty good. How's yours?
My life is amazing. My life is amazing. I have no complaints at all. So, your original statement when you reached out to me was you disagree that a woman who has children decreases in dating value? I got to ask you, do you really believe that?
I do, because when we consider the fact that I'm gonna close that for so that I can hear you better. But when we consider the fact that a lot of young girls are raped and how they deal with that trauma is to become hypersexual, I don't think it's right for you to condemn somebody for trying to cope with a trauma like that. The other thing is that women bring a lot of knowledge and wisdom and experience that has nothing to do with how many penises have been in their vagina.
Oh my God.
So
Oh my God.
so like for example, if someone like me, like I've worked in payroll for like 5 years, so I have a lot of knowledge about pay law and compliance with that. That has nothing to do with how many sex partners I've had. And the value of that knowledge is not decreased by the number of sex partners because it has nothing to do with the number of sex partners that I've had.
Did you know that men could care less about your education? Listen, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think that men value a woman's education? Just give me your honest opinion. On a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, what type of men are you talking about? Like, are you talking about men that I work with? Or are you talking about men that
I'm
I
talking
have
about
sex with?
I'm talking about the anatomy and the biology of the general man. I'm talking about our biology as a whole. What on a scale of 1 to 10, how many men would you suggest really care about a woman's education?
Well, for the men that I've worked with, it was like a 7 or 8 because that knowledge that came with that formal education had implications for the working relationship that I had with them or the research that I was doing with them. In terms of my dating partners, they didn't really seem to care. They cared more about my character, my personality, how I looked. Um, so I would say if we're talking about like a dating partner, it's probably like a 2, maybe a 1.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
we're talking about a work relationship where I'm
We're
doing
not talking
research with
about
somebody,
work. We're literally talking about life partners. We're talking about romance. That's what this whole conversation is about, romance.
okay, then I would say like 2 or 3.
Yes, ma'am. We don't give a damn about your. Listen, have you ever have you ever seen a movie where a man was driving down the street and the beach is off to the right hand side and he sees a plethora of women and he says, "Whoo, shit! I know she's highly intelligent." You think you ever seen a
No,
movie
but
like that?
I
Hold on,
well,
hold on.
no,
When he does this, usually, why is he doing that?
because he likes what he sees,
Yes,
or he
ma'am.
likes what he heard. You know, if he heard, maybe he heard her talking and he likes what he heard and he likes who she is as a person. Maybe he's seen her in several contexts and he likes the person that she is and he thinks that she'd be a good partner.
It's never her education. Your education actually irritates a lot of us. Do you know that there are studies that suggest the more educated a woman becomes, the more she destroys relationships?
Yes, I know of those studies that you're speaking about. I've
And
read
it's
them.
and it's
Yes.
true. You know how we know it's true? Look at how women always lead with their education. I'm educated. Do you know how that sends a fiery chill up men's spine? Because it's almost like saying this to a man. It's almost like saying this: I have access to a homosexual man that would like you. So it is the equal of value to us as that. We don't care. There is nothing your education. What we believe, your education can really now. Your education can kind of really only get us into it. So studies show that when a relationship is dissolved or a divorce is filed, 80% of the time, the woman files the divorce. When she's college educated, it jumps to 90%. You become more unsavory in the eyes of men. But listen, I don't want to get too far away from your initial topic. Do you have any children?
I don't.
Okay. Before I go, I really want to ask you again. I really want to ask you, and I want you to be genuine with me. Do you legitimately believe that a woman's dating value does not significantly decrease per each child she has?
I don't. Um, because there are a lot of men that look specifically for those types of women.
What
So
per-
there are a lot.
what percentage of men in all of the United States would you say are intentionally looking for a woman who has children? Please give me an answer to that.
20, 30%. And I would say that because it's a way to manipulate her, it's a way to control her, right? Like if you say, I'm going to come in and I'm going to provide financial resources for you and the children, that is a way for you to
You
control and
believe
manipulate.
men want to spend their financial resources on other people's? Okay, so let's do it like this. People down in the comments we're on 3 platforms. Look. Somebody else said 3%. Another woman said nope. Ma'am, do you know that we lose status? A man's status is accrued by his peers and what his peers think about him. Do you know one of the most embarrassing things? Look at what these people are saying down here. One thing that we are embarrassed of, and I don't want you to seem like we're doing this intentionally because you said I don't think a man should judge. We're not judging. This is a reality. Um, when
No, but
men,
that
hold
is a
on, no, it's
that
not. Okay, so men aren't
because how
okay.
would
Hold
you?
on, hold on, hold on. Men aren't okay with being friends with grown men who touch 3-year-old children. Do you believe that? Okay,
Yes, most
what do you
re
consider that? Do you consider that us judging them?
yes, you are judging them.
And is it a
You're
good?
judging
Is it a good?
actions wrong.
Is it a good judgment?
It is.
Okay, so it's also that. Listen, let's talk about the average white man, the average black man. The average black man makes $46,000 a year. The average white man makes around 40 to 50. I mean, $50 to $51,000 a year.
Hmm.
Ma'am, after taxes, do you know what each one of your children represent to my check? We are already check to check. Listen, Lord forbid he has any college debt. Children cost. Not only
Yes,
that,
they do.
not only that, for every time a school teacher is disrespectful with your child, you fucking, or just a grown man did something to this man has to go put his life on the line for your children who may one day say, "You're not my damn dad." What you're suggesting is a headache to most men. It's a headache. It is. Listen, he doesn't get the here's what men love about their own children. I can discipline him, even physically, to the point of me molding him into a juggernaut. I can really get in his ass. No video games, no phone. I want you to do those push-ups like we say every day. Okay, now come on. We're jogging up this mountain. But with someone else's kid, ma'am, they can call their dad and say, "He's making me do things I don't want to do." It's a bad freaking investment. That child can one day tell you, "You're not my dad."
Not really, because a lot of fathers abandon women that they get pregnant.
Oh,
so if
ma'am, hold on, ma'am, that's not true. You guys do it. I just told you,
no,
80%.
women do it too.
No, I just told you, men don't leave. It's not in our biology. 80% of the relationships that are dissolved and the marriages that are divorced, you know that they have who filed for divorce on these marriage, the records, right?
Yes.
That's how accurate this data is. 80.
Yeah, but that's not talking about all of the relationships where there's a child and no marriage. I'm talking about men getting women pregnant and then abandoning the woman with the baby. And the woman has kids, but there is no father. The father doesn't support them financially. He is not present. He is not involved at all in raising those kids.
That's not true, ma'am. That's the minority of cases. That is the minority of cases.
That is not the minority of cases.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Around with no father?
Okay, so let me ask you something. What community do you believe? And I'm asking you, so please feel free and open to speak on this. What community would you say suffers the most from lack of having a father?
The white community, the black community, and the
no. Which one? Which one is number one? Which one is number one?
Probably the black community. I would say they have slightly more rates of single motherhood.
It's not slightly. It's not slightly. It's 80%. Right? Now, if you had to guess of all demographics, which group of men have been shown to be the most intimately involved in their children's lives?
Which group of men? Are you talking
what color, what race of men have been proven to be the most intimately involved in their children's lives?
I would say, based on the research that I've read, it would be Asian fathers, and it would be some Hispanic Latinx fathers, like in certain groups of that wider.
It's us. So that proves everything that you just said wrong. You said that majority of time men are getting women pregnant and leaving and not being involved in their lives at all?
No, I didn't say majority of the time. I said that there are many cases where there is a man who's gotten a woman pregnant. He is not married to her, and he abandons her.
I'm almost certain that you said majority, but I'll let you backtrack. Maybe you didn't. You did say there's a substantial amount, right?
Yes, there is a substantial amount of men.
So can we agree that you said there's a substantial amount of cases where men get a woman pregnant and completely abandon the whole situation to the point where he's not even in the kid's life?
Yes, that is correct.
That has just been proven wrong. African American men are the most born without fathers. Yet we are also proven to be the most intimately involved in our children's lives. And the research was from a perspective of not living in the same houses with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that proves it wrong. They're not just, listen, and listen, here's the thing. I want to ask you this. Who's responsible for those children being born without fathers?
Both people are equally responsible if it's not a case of rape.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I find you attractive right now. What state are you in?
slight disgust.
What state are you in?
Oh, I'm in Illinois.
Okay, if I tell you that I have the resources to fly down there tonight, can we get a hotel?
No,
Who is that up to?
that's up to me and my boyfriend. So we've
Okay, hold
already
on, hold on,
discussed
hold
it.
on, hold on, hold on. Do you see how you shut that down? So it's almost impossible for me to get you pregnant then because you won't even let me touch you, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
What if every other woman reacted the way you just reacted? Would there even be any of these children? No, ma'am.
No, there wouldn't.
You
But
don't hold on,
also,
hold on,
when
hold on, hold on, hold on. You don't want to admit this, but you just admit it from your own perspective that you are in complete control of whether or not I get you pregnant, ma'am.
no, I'm not in complete control
You
because the
just said
man
I
still
can't
has
fly
to
down.
choose.
You just
No, no,
said that
no.
I
I
can't fly.
know. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that when a woman says, "I will have sex with you," the man is still choosing to have sex with her. He's still choosing to go to bed with her. She's not incapacitating him
Ma'am, you
and
just
then
said
jumping
no.
on his penis and like riding it and
But
getting
ma'am, you
pregnant. That's
just
not how
told
that works.
you're missing my point. You just shut me completely down. On a scale of 1 to 10, how impossible do you think it is for me and you to have a child?
It would be impossible. Absolutely, there is no
Okay, ma'am. Oh,
possibility.
she said there's no possibility. So, ma'am, do you believe that other individual women have the same way to shut men down who aren't married to them the way you just did me, ma'am? So it
Yes,
is
but
the
those men
woman's
could shut
power,
those
ma'am.
women down. The men could say, "No, I'm not having sex outside of marriage. I'm not having sex with
Hold
these
on, hold
women
on. It
that
doesn't
I meet at
affect
the
us like it
club."
affects you. Listen, it doesn't affect us like it affects you. Let's do it like this since you disagree. A woman who has 4 children by 4 different men and a man who has 4 children by 4 different men. Who's going to have a tougher time dating?
It depends who has primary custody of the children.
On a regular, who typically has primary custody of the children?
The mother typically has primary custody.
Okay, ma'am. So the men who you're talking about who have these children by multiple different men, we could go to Egypt right now. I have 3 children. I could get up and go to Egypt right now. Won't hinder
Mhm.
me any. Most women won't be able to. Can we agree with that?
Yeah, if they're the one with the primary custody. But see, that is the
Ma'am,
fault of the
8.
father
Hold on,
because
hold
he
on, hold
should
on,
have
hold on.
equal custody.
Okay, so
He
ma'am,
should
I
have.
want to
He
see if
should
you're going to
pay
be
him
honest.
too.
I want to see if you're going to be honest about this. Because we can look it up.
Hmm.
Be honest, okay?
Yes.
Is it true that women absolutely are in 100% disagreement with giving men custody of children so that they can get benefits, so that they can file the children on their taxes, so that they can get SNAP, so that they can get Section 8? Do you agree that that's happening at around an 80% rate?
I agree that 80% of the families that where they're not married and
They won't give them,
cohabitating,
they
that
won't give the
80%.
kids to the men so that they can keep filing the kids. Listen, there are men recorded who has spent upwards of $40,000 to get their children from a DRUG addicted woman, and they can't get
Hmm.
them. Can't get them. You guys
Yeah, no,
keep
I
the,
agree with that.
you
That is
guys
true.
keep the children for the benefits. And listen, in America, there's really no need in a man even spending money to get the children. You know why? That woman can come to court high as a kite with the powder on her nose. Do you know
Hmm.
that man still won't be able to get those children?
Yes.
That's what
In
I'm
many
telling
cases, yes.
you. This is what I'm telling you. So it's
That's
the woman's
correct.
fault.
But
But hold on, hold on. Here was my driving point to you.
okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, because I do empathize with women, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much hardship does it bring up on a woman having to raise 1 or 2 children by herself when it should be the man and the woman raising them? How much hardship on a scale of 1 to 10 does it bring up on a woman's life?
Uh, if 10 is the most, I'd say like 8 or 9.
I agree with you, ma'am. So if you guys know that, why the hell do you keep doing it?
Because men lie to us.
We can't keep lying to you and you guys claiming to be this educated.
No, what I'm saying is if a man presents himself as honest and he's a good man and he's going to provide and he's going to take care of any kids that he produces through this union or through sexual relations, that's what he keeps telling you. So he'll get you into bed and then you get caught into bed because you believe his lies. Then you get pregnant and then he abandons you or he decides not to do what he's supposed to do. Then I don't think it's right for you to put all the responsibility on her because he also was involved in that. He chose
Okay.
to have sex with her. He chose to lie. So he should be held accountable for those actions, shouldn't he?
Well, let's go since you want to go there. Turbulence, people. For those of you who aren't familiar, when you hear that, we're about to rock the boat to ruffle some feathers a little bit. I have a question for you. So you said when she gets tricked or conned into having sex, right? Because she was really just trying to do the right thing. She didn't want to be out there. She just really wanted to be a church woman. She just wanted to raise a family. And this man, that's the way it is. So if that's the mindset of a woman, help me explain why 37% of the children in America, period, have been pinned on the wrong man since you guys are these saints. Since you just want to
No,
do
I
the
didn't
right
say that.
thing.
I didn't say that the woman was a saint. She has
Well,
to
you
take
said yes, you
responsibility
did,
for her
ma'am.
choices.
You said getting tricked into having sex. Ma'am, do
Well,
you
no, but if he
hold
lied to
on,
her, he tricked her.
ma'am? We
So
don't
what I'm
even hold on,
saying is
ma'am.
both
Hold
of
on,
them.
ma'am. We don't even have to lie to women today. Women are coming
No,
up on men and saying, "I want some of that." Do you?
no,
Hold
but
on.
and she
You don't
needs
never
to
go
take
out, do you?
responsibility.
Do you
She
ever
needs
go
to
out?
take responsibility. Huh?
Do you ever? You
What was
don't. You
that?
don't. You don't really have a outgoing social life, do you?
No, I usually stay in the house unless
That's
I'm
what I
away from my
thought.
boy.
The reason I asked you that is because, ma'am, everybody knows women are the new bad boys. You're worse than we've ever been. Women are
No,
worse than we have ever been. You guys aren't
what
sitting
I'm
back. Hold on. What I'm saying is this. You guys aren't sitting back. I just want to do the right thing. I don't really want to have sex until I get married. But okay, if you tell me you're a good guy, I'll do it with no, 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 no. That is not what's happening. If
no,
you
that wasn't
believe
the
if you believe that that's what's happening, you tell me why there is an excess number of people finding out children that they have fostered for 20 years are not theirs.
Yes, I will explain that. So, what I'm saying, I'm not saying that women are saints or that women are not going up to men wanting to have sex with them. That is not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that every person in the sex acts has to take responsibility for what they chose to do. So, if the man chose to lie, he has to take accountability for that.
But hold on,
If the
here
woman
you
wants
keep
to
hold
fix
on,
the
you keep going
pregnancy
back.
on the wrong man,
Listen,
that is something she has to take accountability
you
for.
keep saying that you're not you keep saying that you're not presenting the woman as a victim, but have you noticed that you keep on saying if the man chooses to lie to that woman, that is presenting the woman as a victim. It is.
Or if the woman chooses to lie to the man, she has to take accountability for that. We
No,
all
here's what
have
I'm
to take
saying. Listen, you're
accountability for
missing the
what
whole
we
point.
do and don't do.
Listen, you're missing the whole point. You said men are out here doing this and that, tricking women into.
Women are doing it too, and they
It
need to
don't
be
matter. It
responsible
don't
for
matter.
it.
We'll just go off of what you were talking about. Let's do it like this.
That is what I'm talking about. I'm saying that both people need to take accountability for what they chose.
I
If
don't
you
have
choose to
to.
have
I don't
sex with a
have
bunch of
to.
women, you
I'm a
have to.
dead no. I'm a deadbeat dad. I don't have any morals. I only want sex. And if you give it to me and you get pregnant, I don't like you, and I'm not going to take care of the children. Now, my question to you, ma'am, is this: have you ever in your
Uh,
life heard the phrase "deadbeat dad"? Have you?
yeah, I have.
Have you ever in your life heard the phrase "men ain't shit"?
Yes, I have.
So how the hell can you guys keep falling for this shit? You've heard it
Because
all.
I think
Listen, you've heard it all your lives. You guys have singers, women singers, feminist singers who say, "I don't want no scrub." Yet you guys claim you keep getting tricked. How can you get tricked for 40 and 50 years?
okay, a couple things. So I'm saying that what I'm arguing is that everyone has to take accountability for what they do. If you lie, if you're a woman or man and you lie, you have to take accountability. If you pin a child on a man that is not his and you know it isn't his, You have to take responsibility for that. You have to say, I was wrong for doing that. I
No,
lied.
I
I
don't.
betrayed
I'm a
this
piece
trust.
of shit man.
No, I'm talking about the woman. I'm talking about a woman who says that this man is the father, makes him pay child support, and she knows he's not the father. She is a terrible person, and she needs to take accountability
Okay, but
for
listen,
doing that.
I
That
want
is
us to I want
wrong.
us to get to the core of this. I want us to get to the core. I want you to give me 2 concepts in which all of this could be remedied or fixed. Tell me what could be done to keep women from getting stuck with children by worthless men. Tell me, what do you think? If you were the president of the United States, how would you fix that?
I would have universal free contraceptives,
They already
like birth
have
control.
that. You guys already got.
No, and I mean they would be free. You don't have to pay for them. You don't have to buy
Ma'am, you can
condoms. You
go to
don't have to
Planned
buy birth control.
Parenthood and get a whole bag of condoms, ma'am, for free.
Yeah, you can. You can. And I think the other
Women
thing
have
is I would increase
38,
sex
listen, hold
education.
on. Women have 38 different forms of birth contraceptive you could take. Ma'am, it's the
Yes.
women. You guys have 38 forms of birth control you can take. It is you guys. Listen, you know what has happened to me
No.
on multitudes of times? Oh, listen, one time it was a woman that I didn't even know. We were just having fun. I picked her up at a club. She tried to get me to go unprotected. I don't know you.
But I think birth control is the responsibility of both partners. I think it's the
Not if
man's
I don't care about
responsibility.
you. I don't care about you. I don't care if I get you pregnant. I'm a loser. I'm a thug. Now what? You gonna let me mess your life up?
Well, it's her responsibility too. She should care
No,
about
it's
herself
all her
to
responsibility.
do something about that.
I
But
need
he
us to get
needs to also
hold
take
on.
responsibility.
I need to get us back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Do you
Okay.
remember you told me that there was no possible way that I could come and have sex with you, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, what
Yes, I
if
remember.
all of these other women shared that same mindset? Would we even be having this conversation?
We would because there's a lot of
What if women valued themselves more?
well, what about all of the women that get raped? Because they certainly didn't have a
Ma'am, no,
choice.
ma'am, you are talking about a number that is so small that we don't even need to talk about it.
That is not so small.
Okay, so what we're known for doing up here is getting on these stats.
Rape is not small. There's a bunch of children
I'm
that have
talking
been
about
raped, both male and
pregnancies. I'm
female
talking
children.
about pregnancies, ma'am. We'll do it right now. Give me a second. This is what we do on this show. We don't do opinions.
No, that isn't an opinion. There are
But
millions of women in this country that have been raped. There are millions of men in this country that have been raped. That is not an opinion. That's fact. And the point I'm saying is that to say that a woman's value decreases by depending on the number of penises that she's had inside her, well, a lot of women didn't have a choice about the number of penises that she had inside of her because her father raped her, or maybe another male family member, or a teacher, or a priest, or some other male she should be able to trust violated that. And so she didn't
I
have
want
a
to ask
choice
you
about
something, ma'am. I
that.
have the data up here right now.
Okay.
What percentage of pregnancies in America are a result of a rape? What would you think?
I would say maybe 30 to 40%.
Okay, so before I tell you, I want to ask you, where did you develop this mindset from that you think the boogeyman is out there? Like, ma'am, it's 1 in 20. Do you
Well, how
understand?
many is that in numbers? Because are
It's
you talking about the
in
whole U.S.
one
population?
in the U.S. 1 in 20, ma'am.
Okay, and how many pregnancies are in the United States? There's millions every year, right?
Okay, it doesn't
So
matter.
1 in 20 is still a
Ma'am,
huge
it doesn't
number.
matter. 1 in 20 is 1 in 20 when you get done, however you slice it.
No, but if it's 1 in 20 of 20 million, that's a very different number than 1 in 20 of
No,
100.
it's
That
not.
is
It's
not the
still
same
1 in
number. That is
listen.
not the same quantity.
Listen, ma'am, it's about 2.3%, ma'am. Do you get that? 2.3%.
That's still hundreds of thousands of children.
But listen, hold on. Let's do it like this. Hold on, let's do it like this. Ma'am, 97% of the pregnancies are voluntary, ma'am. That is a huge damn number.
No, but the point I'm trying to make
But
is
listen, I want
that
to tell you what you're
by
doing. You're
saying
trying to find a way to allow women to be victims. Listen, I'm going to say
no,
something.
no, no, I'm
Hold
not.
on, hold on.
I'm
I'm going
not
to say
trying to
something.
make them
I'm going to
victims.
say something that you're not going to want to hear, but let's go. Turbulence, people. A lot of these women are whores, man. Do you disagree with that?
No, no, I do, because when you place a woman's entire value based on how many penises she's had inside her, you dehumanize her and remove her personhood,
She has
right?
literally dehumanized herself. Do you have any self-worth if you have 50 Okay, so is your
If
boyfriend there
that's
right
what
now?
she chooses
Hold
to
on.
do,
If you're is
why
your
do
boy
you care what she
is your
chooses to do
boyfriend
with
there
her
right
own
now?
body?
Is your boyfriend there right now?
No, he's not here
I
in the
think
house.
he
He's
is
at
because
work.
you've been looking up like put him on the camera.
He's not here. I
So
live
who,
by myself. He lives in his own apartment in another state. He lives in Indiana and he works right now overnight. He works.
okay,
He's
so
at
call
work
him.
right now.
Call him and ask him would he have locked you down if you had slept with 60 people?
He knows that I've had over 1,000 sex partners. I've already told him that. I told him that when we met. Before we even got in a relationship, I told him that.
Beta. Beta.
I'm not ashamed of how many sex partners that I chose to have. Now, some of
Well, no,
those were not by choice.
I'm just in deep thought right now because now I'm coming to understand why your views are the way they are. That's why you don't want to succumb. Listen, what is your faith? Tell me what is your faith?
I'm a Buddhist.
With this thought concept, you're a Buddhist?
I'm a Buddhist. Yep.
Do you believe that Buddhism promotes women giving their bodies away to random men? Do you believe that, ma'am? There's no
Yes,
listen.
because
Hold on. There's no
yes.
religion in the world outside of Satanism that excuse me, that promotes. Listen, do this for me. Do this for me. I'm going to give you the microphone. I'm going to give you
Mm-hmm.
free reign to answer this.
Okay.
Name me something that is beneficial to society about women having high numbers of sex partners. Do that for me, ma'am.
What is beneficial to society? I think is that women.
Name me something that is
I'm
beneficial
doing it.
to hold on.
I'm
I just
naming.
want to make sure we're clear. Name me anything that is beneficial to families, communities, and society about women having high numbers of sex partners. How does it benefit society, families, and
Well,
communities?
it reduces one of the benefits of it is that it liberates sex, so that talking about sex and knowing how to have good sex and healthy sex and having a healthy sex life, there is no shame with that. And so women now have the ability to choose a sex partner and to do the things that they enjoy and to be open about the things that they enjoy, so that they can set boundaries with their sexual partner. So if I know what I like sexually and I meet a man that I want to have sex with, I can tell him these are the things I like, these are the things I don't like. And I can find a man that's going to respect those boundaries and going to honor those boundaries.
Ma'am, you could
And
tell a
so,
man that without getting 300 bodies. You could just say it out of your mouth without just going to do it.
or what if it was the 300 bodies that helped
But
me to
listen,
realize
hold
that
on, hold
that
on.
was
I want
something
to
I
say this to
like?
you. You are aware that you didn't even come close to answering my question, right? I want you to
No,
say
I
this.
said,
Listen, here's what I want you to do. Here's something that is very good for communities, families, and societies about a woman having 300 sexual partners. Here's something that is very good for society about having those many partners. Tell me, what is good about it?
that
How does it benefit
it
families and
teaches
society?
women how to have healthy, safe, good sex, and it allows them to be able to speak on these topics and
Okay, hold
with
on.
their
Let me interrupt
partner
you
with
really quick.
other women.
So, do you think that way of teaching is better than the women who have got online, did the research of of healthy sexual boundaries, and they kept their bodies clean and they were virgins? Do you think that your way of teaching women sexual liberation, of teaching healthy habits, do you think your way is healthier for society than women being guarding their chastity and getting online and doing the proper research to show them how to have healthy sexual habits? Which way is more dangerous and which way is more healthy? Tell me.
I don't think that my way is more dangerous, because if you're practicing safe sex with your partner and you know how to practice safe sex
Listen,
with
hold
your
on,
partner,
hold on. Let me ask you, what is safe sex?
safe sex is having conversations about people's boundaries and making sure that those boundaries remain respected. It's about you
Okay,
getting
hold on.
tested regularly and using
What is the safest?
contraceptives.
What is the safest sex?
Abstinence.
Okay, ma'am.
Abstinence is the safest form of sex. Yes, that is correct.
Let me ask you this too, because it's like you're oblivious to this, and in my mind is rocking right now. When I ask you to name something that is beneficial to
Mhm.
communities, families, and society overall about having all of these sex partners, ma'am, for some reason, you left out all of the STIs that are being passed around, ma'am.
Yeah, but you can get STIs without having sex.
Ma'am, I
With the
want to
mucous membranes in
hold
the
on, ma'am,
mouth.
hold on. Up here, what we do on this show, we talk always from a realistic standpoint. Out of 10
I'm
people
talking
who,
from a
hold
realistic
on,
sense.
I'll look it up if you force me to, ma'am. Out of 10 people who have contracted STIs, how many would you say did it without having sex?
Probably like 10%. Because there's mucous membranes in the nose and mouth. And those mucous membranes,
Ma'am, it's a shame that I
if you
actually have
come
to look
into
this up.
contact, if you come into contact with STIs through those mucous membranes, you can contract
Okay.
STIs without having
Ma'am,
sex.
do you know what a STI is?
Yes,
S.
chlamydia, gonorrhea,
Hold on, listen to me.
syphilis, HIV.
Hold on, ma'am. STI.
Yes.
Actually transmitted. Actually transmitted.
Yes, but you can
So
get
you
those
can't get a
diseases
sexually
with.
transmitted disease
Yes, you
without being
can. You can
sexual.
get HIV from blood transfusions. You can
But
get
but
a blood
listen, ma'am, you're
transfusion
missing
in
my point.
HIV, and HIV is an STI.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
nonetheless, the
It's a
person who
blood-borne
hold on.
disease.
Nonetheless, the person who passed the STI through their blood got the STI through actual transmission.
Maybe not. If you can get it through
Oh
blood
my God.
transfusions, then no, you cannot necessarily say that they got HIV from sex. They could have gotten that HIV from 1,000 different ways. They could have had a cut and it came into contact with someone who had HIV, their bodily fluids, like their blood. And then they got HIV that way. They contracted it that way. And so that has nothing to do with sexual activity. You can get STIs without having, now they're usually transmitted via sex, but not always. Because again, those mucous membranes in the nose and the mouth do allow you to contract certain STIs
Ma'am, you're missing my
without
point.
touching
What I'm
anyone's
saying
genitals or
is,
anything else.
listen. What I'm saying is, what is being contracted? What is being transmitted? A sexually transmitted disease. So let's go back to the core of where it first started. Irregardless if I pass it to someone through a blood transfusion, where did
Mhm.
I get it? And where
You could
listen,
have got it a thousand
hold
different
on.
ways, and those ways have nothing to do with
Where did
sex.
the person who gave it to me get it?
I don't know. They could have got it 1,000
Okay,
different
we're not
ways
gonna
that
get
have
anywhere
nothing
with
to do
this.
with
We're not gonna
sex.
get anywhere with this. Let's just go back to this place right here. For some
Okay.
reason, and listen, so you were a SEX worker, right?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't an SEX worker. I was a rape. I've been raped and molested, and I was hypersexual for a time to cope with that. And so that was what happened. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
I was
I'm
doing
saying a
that.
thousand partners. You probably would have had to have a SEX worker, man.
No, I was not a. I did that for free. I did that because I chose to.
Okay,
That wasn't getting paid to do that. I
okay,
chose to do that.
okay. So my question is to you: do you believe that you're a decent human being?
I do.
Okay, now listen to me. Now I want you to listen to me. I don't want you to listen to answer. I want you to listen and rock with me. With like me and you are really good friends.
Okay.
Like I call you sometimes because I just trust you so much. I want you to talk to me like I call you for life advice because I'm trying to get my life in order. Now I want to ask you this: if you had a son and he approached you and he said, Mom, I'm thinking about dating this girl, but she's had sex with 300 men. Would you encourage him to embark on that relationship? Not would you stop it, but would you say, son, I think that's a good idea?
I would, with caveats. So I would say the caveat would be, I think you both should get tested. I think you need to learn about condoms and how condoms work and how birth control works, birth control pills, IUDs, all those other things that are birth control methods. You need to learn those things.
Dead
And then
man.
you need, yes,
Dead man
I would
walking.
support that. I would support that because I don't think a woman's value is defined by how many penises she had in her body. I just don't. So she could be a very good person even though she's had 300 sex partners. That doesn't change the fact that she could be a very nice person. She could be honest, she could be kind, she could be compassionate, she could be giving, she could be all the things that I would want for my son, but I'm supposed to write her off because of how many sex partners she had, and I don't think that's correct because she is a whole person, not just her vagina, not just how many penises she had in there. She is a lot more than that. And so, no, I'm not going to say because, and the other thing is, I wouldn't write her off for another reason because I don't know why she had those 300 sex partners. Was she like me and she was doing that as a maladaptive coping mechanism to deal with molestation and rape? I don't know. And so I'm not going to condemn her and judge her and write her off on some stuff when I'm not even sure of what the cause is. I don't know what happened to her or why she's like that. So I don't feel like it's my place to be judging her and just saying, well, you're just this bad person. I don't want my son to be with you. And I don't even know why you're like that. I don't even know if that's true. What if she hasn't had 300 sex? What if that's a rumor? What if that's what he heard from somebody else talking crap about her? That may not even be the number of sex partners she had. So what I'm saying is that there are a lot of factors involved. Like a lot of times hypersexuality is a maladaptive coping mechanism to sexual trauma. And I'm not going to write someone off because they had a terrible thing happen to them. I just don't think that that's my place to condemn somebody, especially because I've been there. I know what that is to go through that and live with that. And it's easy for you to make judgments like that because you didn't go through that. You don't have to live with the memories of it. You didn't
But
have to
listen, hold on,
learn
hold
how to
on.
get through
Guess
it.
why I didn't go? Guess why I didn't go through a lot of things that I didn't go through? Because I heard about those things and I heard that they weren't good for humanity. And I've heard that I've heard that that is amazing. But it was associated with a broken lifestyle and it came with hellified repercussions. So although it was peddled to me as this is amazing, I said, no, thank you. Right. But do you think that STIs are good or beneficial to
No,
society? Did you know that
no, I don't think that they're.
more than 20 million STIs are passed through physical sex in America per year? 20 million. So imagine this. And you just admitted to me the STIs aren't a good thing for society, right?
Yeah, they're not.
Okay. So if more than 20 million STIs are passed annually due to physical sex, imagine what would happen. And listen, I want you to look at it from this perspective. Can we agree that there's probably some amazing women out there who are good girls and maybe their man was out there fooling around and brought her back herpes and she can now never get rid of it? Do you believe that that's BS? That is wrong, right?
Yes, that is wrong. It's wrong for him to
Okay.
have done.
Okay. So imagine this. Out of 20 million cases per year, imagine if women nationwide said, if I'm not married, nobody's touching my body.
Or how about if men said that? How
Men
about if
aren't,
men said, if I'm
hold on,
not
hold on.
married, I'm not having sex with her?
Men aren't known for saying that.
But why are you making her the only one responsible for saying
Because
it?
you're missing the
If
point.
men are supposed to
I've
be
been
the
trying to
one
get
we're
you to
tethered
understand
to,
something for this whole conversation. Listen, me, myself, if my life turns out shit, who is responsible for how my life turns out?
you.
Okay, now hold on. I agree with you 1,000%. Because I don't have to sniff this. I don't have to go out having raw, right? It's all up to me. So if women are the primary ones complaining about men leaving them with children and things like that, how about women don't allow men to do it.
Or how about men don't
Hold on,
have
no,
sex with
hold
they're
on.
not
We need to
married
stop
to?
there. We need to stop right there. You just told me that we are all responsible for our own lives and how our lives turn out. So don't even go towards men. Don't even go there. We're talking about women's lives. If we're judging off of what's best for women's lives, to hell with men. We're talking right now about what is the best thing for women's lives. You told me that we are all responsible for how our lives turn out. So if a woman is responsible for how her life turns out, if she gets stuck with any kids or things like that, it is incumbent upon her to say, I've heard those songs like TLC, I don't want no scrub. I've heard the sayings, deadbeat dad. You're not going to do me like that. Why not do that?
Well, why is the onus on the woman?
Because
Right?
I
So
don't
you're
give a damn
putting
about you. To hell with
okay, then
you.
if you don't care about her, then why do
I
you care
want
how many
your
sex partners she
pussy.
has? If all you see her as is a hole to put your dick
We're
in, then
telling
what
you that
difference?
that's what all we see.
Then
So
why do
how
you care how
long?
many sex
Listen,
partners she had? What,
listen.
are you insecure about that she might have had a bigger penis than yours? Is that what it is? Is that what the concern is? Because if you don't care about her, then why do you care how many penises she had in there? Why do you give a damn?
It's
If
ruining
you cared about
society,
her,
ma'am. It's ruining society badly. It's where the violence comes
but
from.
men are also doing it too. It's not like the woman incapacitated a man, drugged him, made him where he's immobile, and then jumped on his penis and started riding it and got pregnant. That is not what happened. They both decided to go to bed together and have sex. So if they both decide to have sex, they
I
both need to
think you
take
keep on forgetting.
responsibility for
I
having
think you
sex.
keep forgetting significant portions of this show that we've been on. Because I'm going to remind you of something that you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Who suffers the most of being left with children, men or women?
The woman, if she has the primary custody.
Okay, ma'am. And 80 to 85% of the time she does have them, right? You can look this up.
Yes.
So my
Yes, I would
thing
agree with that.
is, if it impacts women more, it is incumbent upon women to make sure that no men are allowed to impact her life like that. I can't go on girls' trips anymore with my best friends from 7th grade because now I have the kids. Men are starting to overlook me because I have these kids. I saw it happen with my sister. I saw it happen with my mom. So guess what? Things got bad for them.
But can I
I'm
ask
not
you
going to let
something?
that happen to me.
Can I ask you something? If that's how men see women, right? Is that the more penises that they've had in their body and the more kids that they've had with a bunch of men lessens their value, then the men who engage with a bunch of sex with women, they are intentionally harming those women and they are
We
wrong for
don't
that.
give a fuck.
No, you may not care, but that doesn't exclude you from taking accountability for what you
What don't
chose.
you
You don't
understand
have
about
to
I don't give
care.
a
You don't
damn
have to
about
care
you?
that you
I
did the
want
wrong
your
thing. It's still
vajayjay.
wrong.
Listen to me.
No, no,
Listen
no,
to
no,
me.
no. Do you understand what I'm
What
saying?
don't you
If you
understand about we don't care about you? I want what's
no, no, no.
between your
Okay, you
legs.
don't care. That doesn't absolve you of responsibility because you don't care.
Me
You can
not
commit
caring
murder and not
absolves
care
me.
about it. That still don't mean you ain't gonna go to prison. You're still gonna go to prison if you're caught
I'm
murdering
willing
people.
to go to prison, ma'am. I want that poontang and give it to me. I'll even
But what
pay
I'm
for
saying
it.
is that the act that you chose, whether you care about the person or not, and how it impacted them, that does not remove your responsibility regarding what you chose to
You know
do.
what removes
You
my
still
hold
have to
on. You
say,
know what
you know what?
removes
I
listen,
was
hold on, hold on,
wrong.
hold on. You know what removes my responsibility? The fact that I don't give a fuck. I don't like you.
That
I
doesn't
don't like
dissolve
what
the
you look
that doesn't
like. I don't
dissolve the
like your
wrongness of
shape.
it.
I need some tonight. There's not many things
No,
about
but
you that
it
I like.
okay, but that doesn't absolve the responsibility, the wrongness. It doesn't remove it because you don't care. It's still there.
You know what they're
It
saying
exists
down? Hold on. You know
outside
what they're
of your
saying down
caring
here?
about it.
They're saying she's listening to respond. She's not really listening.
I'm listening to you. I'm
Okay, so let me
saying
ask you this. Hold on. Let me ask you this, ma'am. Hold on. If Jeffrey Dahmer, when he was alive, had a badge that said, I am the real Jeffrey Dahmer, and he tried to come get you to go out on a date with him, ma'am, would you go?
well, first of all, he was gay, so he wouldn't be coming at
Ma'am,
me to
I'm just
begin with.
asking you a hypothetical question, ma'am.
Well, no. I
Okay,
mean,
hold
we
on,
could
just
use
hold on,
Ted
just
Bundy
hold on,
because
just
he's
hold on,
actually
just hold
more.
on. You told me that men have a bad reputation for leaving women with
Some
children.
do.
Okay, but you're
Some
aware
do.
of it. Hold on, you're aware of it, right?
Yes, yes, I'm aware of that. Yes.
So, ma'am, if men have this reputation that you are aware of, you have all of the information that you need to protect yourself from this. You will not be having raw sex with me unless you marry me. That kills all of it, ma'am.
No, because no, that's not true. Because the man still has to take responsibility for what he chose. He chose to have sex with her, so he has to take responsibility for the fact that he's having sex with a bunch of people.
You know what I
He
have
is
to
not
you
married.
know what I have to do?
So
You
you're
know what I have
holding
to do?
people to
I
different
don't have to
standards,
take
and that's
responsibility for
sexist.
nothing. All I have to take
Yeah, you
it
do.
all I have to do is say fuck you.
But you have to take responsibility for your choice. Just
Ma'am,
like
you're
you're
not
telling her
listening
to
to this
take
conversation. You're
responsibility,
really not
you
listening to
have
this
to
conversation.
too.
Listen, you're really not listening to this, are you? You're not listening at all.
I
What
am. You're
if
saying
I
that you
am
don't
a
care.
man who I don't even give a damn about me? Do you get
Okay.
this?
But that doesn't absolve
So
you of
it is up to
responsibility.
you to protect yourself from me. Listen, do it like
But
this.
that
Do it.
still doesn't absolve you of responsibility. It doesn't absolve you of the responsibility, whether you care or not, whether you know or not. It doesn't
Ma'am,
matter.
do
The
you
responsibility
understand
is
that
still
you're
there.
asking? Do you agree with this? I want to see if you'll agree with this. Do you
Okay.
agree that you're asking an irresponsible man to be responsible? You know how stupid that sounds, ma'am. That sounds
No, I'm
crazy as
saying
hell.
that that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying every adult has to take responsibility for what they choose to do. So if a man chooses to have sex with a bunch of women and get them pregnant, he has to take responsibility for that. Whether he cares or not, whether he knows or not, it doesn't matter. He still chose to do that. That was his choice. She did not incapacitate him, rape him, and all that other stuff. She chose to go to bed with him. He chose to go to bed with her. So they both have to take responsibility for the
What
fact that they had
we've got
sex outside of
here
marriage.
is failure to communicate.
They both have to take responsibility for the fact that they had sex. They both have to take responsibility for the fact that there's a child born out of wedlock. They both have to take accountability for what they chose. So you can't put the onus
You
all on her
fucking
because she's
crazy,
not
man.
the only one
You
making a
sound
choice.
insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
No, 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 no. If she chose to have sex, he did too. So he needs to take responsibility for what he chose. So
Can't
all I'm
believe you
saying
say
is that it
no
needs to be
funky
equal
shit like that.
accountability, not um but the onus shouldn't all be on her if the sex act is a choice they both made. You can't put the onus all on her because she's not the only one making the choice. They're both making the choice. So why is the onus mostly on her and not on him?
Dead man.
And it doesn't matter if
Dead
he
man
cares or
walking.
not, still the responsibility
Welcome
is
to
there
Death Row.
because you made the choice. And so you have to accept the consequence of your choice and the responsibility of your choice, and you have to be accountable for that choice. And I don't care if you care about it or not, because that exists outside of your caring about it.
My question to you is this. How does a man who doesn't give a damn about his own life, literally, have to take responsibility?
Because we all have to take responsibility for what we do,
Ma'am, have
whether
you
we
ever
care or
have
not.
throughout the course of this show, have you stopped and maybe thought about some of the things that you say?
I have thought about it. I'm aware of what I said.
How can I respect you if I don't respect myself, ma'am?
Because
Ma'am, you're sounding
because
crazy, to be quite honest.
no, no, no. I'm gonna tell you a story. So back when I was hypersexual and I had a rotation, I had multiple partners every week. Okay. Um, I didn't have any respect for myself, but I respected my father. I respected my grandmother, even though I didn't have any respect for self because I hated myself and I was so ashamed of what had happened to me. I couldn't even discuss it. And so I was coping with it via that way. That was how I chose to cope with it. Um, but I still had respect for other people even though I didn't have any respect for myself. So yes, you can have
So
respect
you
for people.
believe that you had respect for your dad and you slept with 1,000 people.
I do. I still respect my father to this day. I
Do
do.
you believe that that's
I
what he
have
wanted?
always
Do
respected.
you believe that that's what he wanted for you?
No, that isn't what he wanted because he
Okay, so
said
if
it
it's
when
not
I
what
would
he
come.
wanted for you and you proceeded to do it anyway, ma'am, that was not a definition of respect, ma'am.
No, that doesn't have to do with. I respect his ability to have an opinion. I listened to the opinion he had, but it's my body, and I have the right to decide what I do with my own body, and I
Do
have the
you
right to decide how many sex partners I have. That is my right as a person, as a grown woman. That is not for my father to decide for me as a grown
do
woman.
you
No,
believe
that is
that
not
if
for
your
him to decide.
father asked you to do something and you don't do it, that is disrespecting him?
No, not necessarily. It depends what he asks. Like, for example, my father is a Christian man, right? He's very religious. And so he's asked me to practice Christianity, but I don't
I'm
think
not
if
talking about that. I'm not saying that.
no,
What
but
I'm telling you,
but you
we can move away from this. We can move away from this. So what you're telling me, what percentage of men would you say are attracted to women who have children? What percentage would you say?
like, and they don't have any kids or they have kids
It
and they want to have
doesn't
sex with them,
matter
right?
how many kids women have. I keep telling you that. Men's value do not drop for having kids. Look at Nick Cannon.
Yeah, but he
Men's,
got a lot of money though.
it
The kids
doesn't
are irrelevant.
matter. Have you listen?
No,
Okay, no,
no,
hold
it
on,
does
hold
matter.
on. No, the Kardashians. Do you think that they have said to Ray J? Do you think that they have said to any of the men that they've been with, you got too many kids? Ma'am, are you serious? Do you even live on planet Earth? Men,
No,
women
but
do not listen. If a man is handsome and that man's confident, got swag, nobody's saying, no, you have too many kids. They
no,
typically
but he
never
got a bunch
see
of
his
money though.
kids.
He got
I'm
a bunch of
I'm
money.
not
That
talking about,
changes it.
ma'am, listen,
Because
ma'am,
those women are
ma'am,
women
I
full of
have
money. They
children.
don't give a damn about no
Ma'am, I
kids.
have children myself. No woman has ever said that they won't date me, but not once. Not once.
Okay, but do you have no? The money
I have
matters
more than
though.
one and I
Like
have more
your
than two.
no. But the money matters. What I'm saying is, for someone
It
like Nick
can't
Cannon, I
matter.
don't give a damn. He could have 1 million kids, but he got a bunch of money, and I could have a glow up by
Ma'am, you're
being with
missing
him.
what I'm talking
So
about.
I
I'm
don't
not
give a
talking
damn
about
if he
men.
has kids.
I'm not talking about men who have children, ma'am. I mean, who have money. I'm talking about, okay,
But
hold on, stop. Let's go here. Let's do it like this. 80% of the children in the black community, 80% were created by the lower functioning and oftentimes illiterate, broken men in the black community. Basically, the hood ninjas. Explain that away,
okay,
ma'am. And we know, listen, we have prominent black women who have babies by them. Beautiful black women who have babies by them. You guys are sleeping with, listen, black women, and it's not even just black women. Look at the men. Jeremy, pretty boy, I forget his name. The woman who picked him up from California prison in a Lear jet was a clothing line billionaire heiress, and she picked him up from prison, ma'am. A
yeah,
man's dating value is different than a woman's dating value. A woman can weigh too much and it disqualifies her from a certain caliber of man. A woman can look a certain way and it disqualifies her from a certain caliber of man. A woman can have children and it will disqualify from certain calibers of men. And I don't know why you're acting like you don't know this. If you disagree with me, do this for me. Actually, it was you. You're the one who said that you don't believe that a woman's children disqualify her from certain caliber men. So let's do it like this then. I need you to do me a favor. We talked about this earlier. Men who have their pick of women, who can get any woman they want, men who are wealthy, men who are of notable stature, men who are famous, who have their pick of women. Name me one who has married a woman who has 3 children by 3 different men. Name me one.
Well, I can't name you a specific example, but one thing I will say, right, is that
Oh, hold on,
there are
hold
a
on,
lot.
hold on, hold on, hold
Wait,
on,
wait,
hold
wait,
on.
wait.
No, no, no,
Hold
no,
on.
no,
Let me
no,
make my
no, no,
point.
no, no, no. Do you know why
No,
you? Oh, no,
let me
no,
make
no,
this
no,
point.
no, 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 no.
Let
The
me make
reason,
this
stop
point.
it, stop it. The reason that you can't name one, and I'm not saying that there isn't a case, but even if you can name 10 cases, when compared to the number who don't, it will equal out to 0.000 point. And the reason is when given a choice, that is not what men pick.
Okay, question. I have something to say. So, a lot of women that have had kids, they can get surgery and other things to make it look like they've never had kids, right? They can get their
Hey,
vagina tightened and all.
have you noticed that to make your point, sometimes you go completely off the rails with this?
No, no, no. I'm not finished making my point. My point is that how would a man know that she's had a bunch of sex partners if she gets the surgery and she makes herself look like she's 20 years old and that she has no kids and she's abandoned her kids? Because you said that there are a lot of women that abandon their kids. So she's abandoned her kids. She's gotten the surgery.
No,
She's
I
tightened
did
her
not
vagina
say that there's a lot
surgically.
of women who have abandoned their kids. It's the exact opposite. They hold on to the kids so that they can get welfare. They hold on to the kids so that they can file them
No,
on their
but when we
taxes.
mentioned that fathers abandon their kids, you said that there are women that abandon their kids, that they have
No, I
kids
didn't.
outside of
Women
wedlock.
abandon the men.
Okay, but my point is that women have the means. Like there are ways where a man would not know how many sex partners she had unless she was
Ma'am, I need you
honest
to
and
stop.
said
I
this
need you to
many
stop.
sex.
Hold on. I need you to stop right now. Hold on. I want to help you understand something because you're not a man. I want to, and I want all of the men on all three of these platforms. Give me a fireball if I'm spot on, and give me a thumbs down and a hell no if I'm completely wrong. Ma'am, I just did a clip. I just did a show that went viral. Ma'am, the way that men detect a woman who has been hypersexual, who has had a lot of bodies, it's going to be seen very, very visibly in her demeanor, in her behavior, how she talks, how she dresses, how feminine she is. Ma'am, a man who is blind can spot a hoe a mile away. You know what we look for in men, in women? We look for the exact opposite of the hoe, which means we know what the demeanor of the opposite of a hoe is. She will be cooperative. She won't be a know-it-all. She won't have to have the last word. Listen, hold on. She won't be seen at a lot of the places that you see a lot of hoes at. Listen, she won't be dressing how a lot of hoes dress. Her friends will not be the type that are usually associated with hoes. Ma'am, it's very visible to men. Very visible.
Okay,
Hold on,
now
hold on, hold on.
explain this.
Hold on, stop. I need you to look down in those comments and see how many men are saying that I'm spot on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Facebook. 100%.
Wait, I have a question for you. So what
Listen, hold
about
on.
the
I want to ask
woman
you something.
who
Hold on. I'm going to let you talk, but I want you to understand something. Even when men say it, you have a knack to still not believe it, which means you can't be told
No, I
anything.
didn't. I wasn't gonna say that. That wasn't what I was gonna say.
No,
I was
I'm
gonna say,
talking
what
about
about
if
the
you look
woman?
down in those comments, all of the men are in agreement with what I just said.
No, but what about the woman who has had 1,000 sex partners like me, but doesn't dress like a hoe, doesn't hang around women that behave in that way, and is about her work and her business and her life? Like, I'm gonna tell you right now that most people looking at me out in the world because of how modestly I dress, they would not think I had 1,000 sex
Let
partners.
me
In
help
fact,
you
most people
understand
don't
something,
believe me
ma'am.
when I say that.
Ma'am, let me help you understand something right now. The reason that I asked you about it is because I knew that for you to even have the stance that you have, for you to even have the talk that you had, I knew that you had been hypersexual in your life because only a hypersexual woman would, or a stern, stump down feminist would defend the notion of it doesn't matter how many sex partners you've had. It doesn't matter how many. Ma'am, I knew you had been ran through. I knew it. Because listen, here's who won't say it. You can't find me a virgin in this world who will say, it doesn't matter how many sex partners you've had. It doesn't matter how many kids you have. You know why? Because their lifestyle is in direct opposition to that conversation.
But I was saying that when I was a virgin. Before I was raped and all that, I said that I think women should have the right.
What age did your abuse start, ma'am?
I was molested when I was 6, but I was raped when I was 8. So I was
Okay, ma'am.
already.
So you can't even say that you were. So you're telling me at 6 years old you were talking about pregnancies, ma'am?
I
Now you're
was.
being dishonest, ma'am. Now you're being dishonest.
No, I'm not being dishonest. My
Why were you
dad, when I
talking
was a
about?
little
Why were you
girl,
talking about pregnancies? Why at 6 years old did you think it was okay for women to have 5 children by 5 different men, ma'am? You're being dishonest
because
now.
in the neighborhood I lived in, that was what I saw. I saw women that had multiple
What
fathers to their
we've got
kids. So
here
I would
is
ask my father about it, and I
failure
would
to
talk to
communicate.
my father about it. So yes, we were talking about these things back when, because that's what I saw and I wanted to understand it. I wanted to understand why these children are all siblings, but they're all different skin tones. And why these children's father is this man, and then the other kids have this
I'm
other
not
man as they
talking
father.
about that. I'm talking about the concept of you coming to the determination and the ideology at 6 years old that it's okay for a woman to have 5 children by 5 different men. Ma'am, that you're being dishonest, ma'am.
No, I'm not being dishonest. We would
Okay,
talk about this
we can
because
leave that
that's what
alone. We
I
can
see.
leave that alone. We can leave that alone. So, do you believe that you're a well put together woman right now?
I mean, not at the present moment, no, but I
Do
think
you
as
think
a
that
whole,
do
yes.
you think that you are at the capacity where you can give people sound advice on dating?
In certain contexts, yes, but not totally. No,
Ma'am,
I wouldn't say.
you would destroy a child's life. You would destroy a child's life, ma'am. Your
I
belief
don't think so.
system, your belief system alone should not be repeated out loud. Listen, here's how I always, if things that we don't know for a fact, there's a system that I have to where, some things are gray areas. We don't know if this person is right or that person. There's a system that I have that allows me to get to a better definitive and accuracy on whether or not a gray area is right or wrong. Imagine this. Imagine if we apply your teaching to a high school of girls at 1,000 person capacity, and imagine if we taught my teaching to 1,000 girls. Ma'am, you would destroy a community of girls.
No.
Ma'am, if you don't
What your
believe,
philosophy would
hold on,
do
ma'am,
is
hold
cause
on.
those
I
girls
want
to
to
go
ask you this out
underground.
loud. I want to ask you this out loud. If we could use hypnosis and we could get 1,000 13-year-old girls to be updated with your philosophies and 1,000 girls to be updated with my philosophies, whose do you think would come out with the better life outcomes? My philosophy is don't have sex until you get married, love yourself, and value your body. Yours is it doesn't matter how many children you have. It doesn't matter how many sex. Ma'am, you would destroy this whole fucking planet, ma'am.
No, 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 no. Because all your philosophy is going to do to children is it's going to cause them to do this in secret. It's going to cause them to do this hidden, because children have a natural, especially once they go through puberty, they see boys and all this other stuff. They have a natural curiosity about sex. And, considering the fact that we don't really
You
have good sex
promote it.
education in this
You
country.
promote it. I think it's better if they even have the consciousness to hide it. That means their conscience is still intact.
So
That
that
means,
that also means they probably won't use protection. When you open the
ma'am,
door
your
to
way,
having a
you're suggesting it
conversation,
doesn't even matter if they use protection. You're saying it's okay to
I
have
think it
300.
is important for them to use protection.
Ma'am, you said it's okay to have 300 sex partners, ma'am.
I think it's okay to have 1,000 sex partners. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think you should have safe sex with a person that you choose to have sex with. I don't see a problem with it. If you chose to
Ma'am,
have
I'm
sex and the other person chose
respectfully,
that
I'm going
sex,
to
what's
say
wrong
this,
with it?
ma'am. Respectfully, you are the equivalent of a plague. You
What is
have
that?
a plague. You are the
I've never heard
equivalent
that.
of dropping a nuclear bomb on an entire. Listen, if we gave you a megaphone, if we gave you the right to go teach at schools, you would fuck up the United States.
No. What I would do is teach the children about
Ma'am,
their
you just
reproductive
told
system.
us
I
you
would teach
believe it's
them about
okay
birth
for a
control.
person to have 1,000 sex partners.
I do. I think it's okay if that's what they choose to do. Then yes, I do think that that's okay, because people need to be allowed to have control of their own body and make choices about what they do with their own body. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that you have the right to choose who you have sex with, how
Okay,
many
now
sex
stop.
partners you have.
So you're a proponent of my body, my choice.
Absolutely. I'm
Okay,
absolutely a
ma'am. I
proponent of
want
that.
you to listen to me and I want you to attempt to sink this in. If you are a proponent of my body, my choice, then it means you are responsible if you allow deadbeat guys to get you pregnant and leave. Your body, your choice, ma'am. So don't put it on the
Yes.
man. Don't say about
No,
working
but the
counting.
man is
No, no,
responsible
no,
for choosing
no.
to have sex
No,
with
stop it.
her.
I'm talking. Stop interrupting me. You say my body, my choice. So that means it's all up to you. So stop trying to find a way to put it on men.
No, that isn't what that means. That isn't what that means. That means that I can choose who my sex partners are and I have to take responsibility for that. Just like the man has chosen to have sex with me, so he has to take responsibility for that. He has to take responsibility for his own choice. I can't be responsible for his choices. He is a grown man.
So
Why am
you
I
telling
being
me,
held responsible for that?
if I want to come over there and get a BJ from you right now, you're not responsible for that.
I'm responsible, but so are you because you're choosing to do
I
it.
don't give a damn about your life. I don't care
But you're
nothing
not
about you.
caring doesn't change the fact that you're still responsible for
If
your
I don't
choices.
care, it means you can't depend on me to care about you like you care about you, and therefore you have to protect you against me and you.
No, but responsibility for our choices doesn't matter if we care or not. You're still
Hey, ma'am,
responsible
can
for
I
what
get
you
you to
chose.
agree? Can I get you to agree to something? That no matter,
Depends on what it is.
listen, that can I get you to agree that no matter what is said up here, you're going to stand on your stance?
Yes, because I think everybody needs to take responsibility for their choices. Men and women, they need to take responsibility. Yes, I believe that.
Listen, people, we have not one show supporter yet. I need you guys. We're going to take an intermission. I need somebody to keep the show going, people. Let's get it going. And again, I want to send a shout out to all of the people who became members to the channel. Those of you who became members of the channel, and those of you who haven't, those of you who have not become members of the channel yet, this is the badge that will be pinned by your name. And those of you who are a member of the channel for a month and longer, this is the badge. So if you have not become a member yet, become a member, because it's the only way you will be able to see our content is if you're a member of the show. It's the only way you will be able to see certain lives. This live right here. If you're not a member, you won't be able to see the show. So those of you who have not become members yet, you already know what it is. Rock with us like we rock with you. Right? I just want to say this. The reason we know that there's a God and that he loves us is it's really good thing that you don't have any children, ma'am. Your children would plague society. They would adapt to your teachings, and then they would go out into the world and execute your teachings, and we would have a plethora of bubonic plagues being passed through people's penises and their clitorises.
The bubonic plague isn't passed through no penis. Oh my God, no.
Ja Flip
No,
over here supporting the show. I appreciate it on TikTok.
No, I think that children. I don't want any children, right? So I didn't have any kids.
Well, I think
But
God was involved in that. I think God stretched it.
I don't. Well, I don't
Shout out
believe
to
in God.
ZF over here
I'm in.
supporting the show with the super chat.
No, I don't think that had anything to do with God. I think that just has to do with me not wanting no kids. I don't want no kids, so I actively did things to ensure that I didn't have kids.
Shout out to LLM with the showing love to the show. Shout out to Tiny over here setting it off with us. You already know.
But
I think
I don't
this.
think that.
So let me ask you this: do you think that society would be a better place if it adopted your methodologies and your teachings?
Yes, because then everyone would take responsibility for their choices.
So
and
you think
people
having
would allow
SEX with 1,000
sex in the
people, you think having SEX with 1,000 people is taking responsibility?
I've taken responsibility for that. I'm not ashamed of it. I
Ma'am, the
openly
amount
admit
of
that I did that.
STDs that have crawled out from between your legs into society is probably a horrific number, ma'am.
I've never had an STD. I've never had one, and I've been tested over,
What we've got
3 or
here is
400 times in my life.
failure to communicate.
I've never tested positive for STD in my life.
Dead man
That has
walking.
never happened. I'm sorry.
So let me ask you this. And I'm being respectful. Do you believe that there's a possibility that you've allowed yourself to not be able to remember a huge portion of your life, maybe around 10, 15 years, like where you might have been to the clinic and been diagnosed with some serious things and you just don't remember it, things like that? Do you believe that you may have a time lapse gap of about 10 or 15 years of your life missing that you're not aware of?
No. No, because the window for STIs to come up on the test as positive is usually 3 to 6 months. And so if I'm 37 now, right? And I don't engage in this behavior anymore. It's been years since I've engaged in that behavior. So if I did have STIs, they would appear on the test if I was positive for them. And I've already been tested multiple times since I was outside of that lifestyle, since I stopped doing that. When I started going to therapy and I learned healthy coping strategies and I overcame my rape trauma and I no
Ma'am, do you
longer
listen
engage in that.
respectfully? Do you understand that your poontang is probably absolutely no good at all to any man? That man who you're with in Indiana, do you know that there is no way that man could fulfill you, ma'am? Do you know that
He
that
does
man?
fulfill me.
Do you know that that man touching your body is no different than a man sticking his arm on the inside of a tractor tire? He
No,
probably
he
can
is
feel
great.
nothing.
The sex with him is great. It's the best sex I've ever had.
Ma'am,
in my
that
whole
man
life.
can probably feel nothing when he's touching your body, ma'am. Nothing.
I mean, you'd have to ask him that. I can't speak for him and his experience regarding sex with me, but I would say from my
Ma'am,
perspective,
can you
it's the best
even
sex
have
I've ever had.
orgasms anymore, ma'am?
I absolutely have orgasms. I have a bunch of orgasms, 20 to 30 every time we have sex. 20 to 30 orgasms I have.
I might go for that. I might go for that right there. I might go for that. I believe right now, up on wheel, you can just close your eyes, twitch an eye or something, and just release an orgasm. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. And you know what I believe that comes from? Ma'am, you don't believe you're broken. You don't believe you're broken.
I was broken at a time. There was a time in my life when I was a broken person, but I've done therapy and I've worked through those things. And
Hey,
now
hey,
I'm
hey,
no
hey,
longer
hey, hey, hey.
broken.
Here's what I need you to do. It was a therapist, a man or a woman?
I've had both men and women because I was
The
in
man,
therapy,
you need to go find him and kick him dead between his legs, hard as you can.
Why?
You think he helped you?
A bunch of therapists helped me. I had a bunch of them over the 5 years.
So
when I
you
was
believe you're helped.
Yes.
You believe that you've received help, and your current ideology is there's nothing wrong with teaching teenagers that it's okay to have 1,000 SEX partners. Ma'am,
Yes,
I
if that's their choice. Yes, I don't think
you're worse off than when you were out there getting trains ran on you, ma'am.
I mean, you can think that. That's fine. You have the right to think.
I'm going to
whatever
ask you
want.
again. I'm going to ask you again. Do you believe that it is okay for our daughters to accumulate 1,000 SEX partners?
Yes, if she's able to consent to sex and she consents to sex, she's not pressured into it. Yes, I absolutely think it's absolutely okay. As long as she's having safe sex, she's getting tested regularly. She's choosing her sex partners. They're not raping her. They're not over 3 years older than her, right? So it's not statutory rape or anything like that. She isn't coerced into it. It's something she wants to do. Then yeah, I think it's totally fine. If she understands the consequences of sex and
Hold
she
on, let me ask
chooses
you this.
to
Hold
have
on, let me
sex,
ask you this. Let me ask
yeah.
you this.
knock yourself out.
Hold on. How valuable do you think SEX is to a man on a scale of 1 to 10? From a woman. SEX from a woman. How valuable do you think it is?
Probably like a 7 or through 9, something like that. Depends on how long it's been since he last had sex.
The average man, and what we've known about men since the beginning of time, how valuable do you think SEX with a woman is to a man?
7 to 9, depending on when's the last time he had sex. If
Ma'am,
it's been like
if men have taken other men's lives for women, you're gonna say a 7? Ma'am, it's a 10, ma'am. SEX runs the world. Listen, Black China 2 years ago made $200 million on OnlyFans. These girls are making $1 million a day on OnlyFans. So, ma'am,
they
it's
are.
probably an 11 or a 12. Okay? Now, my point is this. Men who are willing to marry a woman or even get in a relationship with her and say, I will never touch another woman again for you because you don't want me to. You want a monogamous relationship. I will never touch another woman. What do you think is valuable enough about that woman that causes that man to be willing to sacrifice something that men love so much? What about her?
That he loves her and that he respects her and that
Okay,
he's willing to make
hold on. Do you
her.
think, okay, that's fine. Let's go here with this. So, and I know it's happened more since then. There is a recorded act of a man paying a woman $1 million for her virginity. And then there's a man paid $964,000 for a woman's virginity, right? So I don't want you to be combative. I just want you to talk logically to me. Does that mean, can we deduce from that in men's eyes, the less sex partners a woman has had, the more valuable it is to them? I'm going to say this again.
No.
Listen, let me ask you this. Have your man ever put his hands on you?
Like in an abusive way? Is that what you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he's never done that.
Ma'am, are you being honest, ma'am?
I'm being honest. He's never put his hands on me, unless it was like during sex and it was something that we both agreed on, but it wasn't abuse.
That's crazy. Okay. I do see how you could probably drive a man crazy or to that point or something like that. Like, I don't know if you're.
I mean, there have been men in the past that have put their hands on me like that, but this man.
And when it's probably behind your conversation, it was behind your conversation, wasn't it? Like some of the things you say.
No, that not necessarily. It could have been that I didn't cook what he wanted to eat, or it could have been that I didn't,
I was only asking because I do see how your conversation, some of the answers could drive a man crazy. I want to say this to you again, ma'am, and I want you to try to follow me. I want to say this to you.
I do drive him crazy. I do.
See, listen, you hear what she said? She said I do drive him crazy. I know, because you kind of got me a little messed up right now. But, I'm trying to inhale and exhale here and there throughout the conversation. But listen, I want to say this to you again, ma'am. Listen to me when I say this. A man has given a woman $1 million for her virginity, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is recorded that another man gave a woman $964,000, okay? For their virginity.
Yes, that's correct.
So does that mean that they saw a great deal of value in those women due to how little sex partners they had had?
Those particular men did, but I don't
think
that.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Can you name me any instances where women like yourself who have extremely high body counts have been given $1 million for one night of sex, ma'am?
Well, I've never been offered that personally because
I'll give you a moment to look it up if you care to. You can get on Google. You can get on any search engine in the world, and I don't think you'll find where a promiscuous woman was paid $1 million for something she gives away for fucking free, ma'am.
Stormy Daniels was paid $1 million by Trump.
Stormy Daniels was paid $1 million for blackmail, ma'am. Stop it.
Or maybe even more than that, but I think it was.
It was to help him win the election, because if she had spoke on certain things, it would have ruined his ability to be the president. It wasn't for her.
Because he had sex with her.
No,
that's
ma'am.
what she said.
Ma'am, he didn't pay. No, he didn't pay her $1 million for sex, ma'am. He paid her to shut up. He paid her to shut up.
But he had to have paid her for sex. She's she's literally a porn star. Like,
do you think he gave her $1 million?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay,
I
so
wouldn't doubt that if
just
he gave her that. Look how much money he had at the time. Of course, he could give her $1 million. That
somebody
wouldn't be
said them
anything to him.
Dubai
He had
trips.
billions of dollars.
Somebody said them Dubai trips. That's not the same comparison. They're paying those girls to take a dump on them. They're not paying those girls for the value of their chastity.
Or like, what about all the girls on OnlyFans that dudes are paying millions of dollars to watch them have sex with a bunch of guys?
They're
So they're
not
paying money
listen, hold
to
on,
watch
hold
them
on,
have
hold
sex.
on. They're not paying them $1 million. I said women have been recorded to have received $1 million from one man for their virginity.
No, I agree with that. I agree with
Okay.
that.
So listen, let me ask you this. I don't believe we're having an authentic conversation. I don't believe you're talking to me in good faith, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You don't believe women are more valuable to men the less partners they've had?
I think to many men that might be the case, but there are certain men that don't believe that. They don't see women in that way. They don't
What
see
percentage?
women as
What percentage of
sex.
men would you say value a woman's for having a low body count?
I'll probably say like 60%. I feel like the more educated a man
Hey,
is,
people
like the
down
less
in all of the
value.
comments, I want you guys to tell me what percentage of men would you suggest respect women more when they have smaller body counts? Give me a percentage.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, as someone with a high body count, I
Hold
know
on,
how
let me
to
read
have
these
sex
off.
well.
Let me
That's
read.
how
Hold on, let me read these
well.
off. 100, 100. Let me try to read these over here. 95%, 100%, 100%, 90%, 90%, 96%, 99%, 99%, 999%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 80%, 100, 97, 97, 1000%. Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
you've created your own world where the things that you subscribe to are looked up to and respected inside of your head, but they're not looked up to and respected in society. It doesn't play that way in real life, which is why some women can't listen. Watch this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Look, look, look. 1,000 over here on YouTube. 1,000, 100, 110, 95, 95, 1,000, 100, 90, 90 on Facebook. 89, 100%, 90. These are men talking.
Yeah,
Men
the
are the
men who watch your
consumer.
show, yes. But I'm gonna tell you, there are a lot of men that don't watch this red pill content. Like I feel
Hold
like
on,
a
ma'am.
lot
Hold
of
on, hold
dudes
on. So
don't
did
watch
you
this.
hold on. Did you know that some of these are women down here saying this?
Yeah, because those women are into red pill content too.
So they're
That doesn't
lying.
mean that all men
Listen.
agree with that.
So these women are down here lying.
No, there are women who agree with you, and there are a bunch of women that don't agree with you. There are a lot of men that agree with you. There are a lot of men that don't agree with
So
you.
let's do it like
What
this.
I'm saying
Hold
is,
on.
men
I
who
want
watch
to do
your
this. I
channel
want to
agree
show
with
you
you.
something. Fellas, down in the comments, I want you to name me the 2 top things that disqualify a woman for marriage. I'm going to read them off. Ladies can too. Name me the top 2 things that will cause a man to say, I'm not marrying her, even if she's a beautiful woman. Name me the 2 top things. One says ran through. I'm going to read on all the platforms. Look, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Been around the block. Kids and beauty. Listen, promiscuity, kids. Let me read over here. Attitude, bodies, kids and bodies. Those are the top 2. Kids and bodies.
Okay,
Kids and bodies.
those are the top 2 of the people that watch your show.
Simply Red just said not. You bring your ass up here. No, you the hell you didn't.
Now, what I'm gonna say, what
She
I would
said
say
not
that,
being educated. Let's touch that, people. Fellas, what percentage of men care about a woman's education?
no,
Now
I'm
watch
not
this.
talking about
Hold
women.
on. I'm
The
talking about
women's
another one. I'm
education.
talking about something another woman said.
I'm talking about
Hold
men
on.
who are
I'm
educated.
talking about something else. Hold on. Ma'am, Simply Red, would you look down there in those comments? Look, even the women said none. Mia said very little. See, and this is what today's show is about. You ladies need to get to know us better, because if you get to know us better, you'll know what we like. If you know what we like, you'll know what more to be like. We don't give a damn about your education. None. Before you guys,
No, but I think
listen, before you guys were even allowed to go to work and before you were even allowed to go to school, we were married at an 80% rate. We were marrying you before you had the right to even go to school.
no, I understand that, but see, these opinions are all opinions from people that watch your show, and
Ma'am,
there's
hey,
a
ma'am,
lot
see,
of men
ma'am, you
who
got to
don't
stop
watch
that.
your
Ma'am,
show.
you got to stop that. You're
How
taking
many
human.
people are watching your show? Not every
Hey,
American.
ma'am, let me ask you
in the
something.
United
Hold
States
on.
is
Let me
watching your
bring something
show.
to you. Hold on. Let me bring something to you. Ma'am, do you know how many times women down here wish death upon me? Are you
I'm sorry to
kidding
hear
me?
that, because they shouldn't be doing that. That's wrong
Well,
for them to do.
these women have no problem being in disagreement with me. You know who I am?
Not really. I mean, my boyfriend was watching you on the weekend. That's why I watched your the last live stream. That's why I had issues with it, because
Listen,
I
ma'am,
don't.
hold on. I need you to understand this. These women have no problem letting me know he's a piece of shit for how he thinks. These women have
I
no
don't think
problem.
you're that.
No, hold on. These women have no problem talking like you. There are some women down here right now who have said it doesn't affect a woman's value the more kids she had. But when the women will come up and we have these conversations, they'll say, okay, I see the point now.
No, I
Ma'am,
have
listen.
never. I would never think that about you because you disagree with me. I just think that we don't agree. We have fundamental
I
value
agree with that.
differences, but that doesn't make you a bad person. That just means we see the
Hold
world
on, give me a
differently.
second, Miss give me a second, Miss Elizabeth. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Shout out to the Road King in this situation, showing love to the show. Your kids aren't. He messed it up. Your kids are an assert. I think he means your kids are an asset to you and not men. Let me try to read this. Your kids are an asset to you, not men. We don't have to deal with your mistake. However, your value drops as soon as you already have kids, ma'am. This is men saying this.
No,
Listen,
because a woman has value that doesn't involve her vagina.
Ma'am, hold on. Shout out to ZF up in this situation. And I agree with ZF right here. I don't believe 1,000 men cracked you. I think that you got that in your head. Shout out to Mike checking this situation with the support for the show.
Hold
on, Elizabeth, stop it. Elizabeth, stop it. Elizabeth, what have you learned about men in your 1,000 body count journey? And how has your current boyfriend benefited from it? I want you to answer that.
So in that I learned a lot about my own preferences, things that I wouldn't have probably admitted or been open to admit back then. It was just sort of things happened during sex that made me realize I actually enjoy this. And I think that my current boyfriend has benefited because
listen, Elizabeth, you do know that man has other women, right? You know that, right?
If he does, then we gonna be over because he agreed
you
to be in a
believe that you've slept with 1,000 men and that man's being fake.
He promised, he said he wouldn't do it, and I trust him. So yeah, I think that he ain't having sex with nobody else. Now, if I find out he is, then he is gone. The minute I find out he's having sex with anybody else besides me is the minute that we gonna be over. I'm not doing that.
So you get to sleep with 1,000 men.
In my past, yes.
It doesn't matter. That man got some catch up to play.
He don't have no catch up to play. He's the best sex partner I ever had. He don't have to catch up with nobody. This is not a competition.
Oh, he black, ain't he?
Yeah.
All right. Talk that talk then. Hey, Elizabeth said I got me some chocolate.
Yes, I do. A very nice Jamaican
Listen,
man.
I will say this to you. I am surprised that you're not eating your own boogers. Like 1,000 sex partners, I would have expected you to be really, really messed up. But I believe that you are a pleasant person. I am very, very shocked at that. I am very shocked. I believe you're a respectful person. I believe you're a pleasant person. I hate that you went through what you went through because it's very unfortunate. But Miss Elizabeth, there is no way that you should be okay telling young girls it's okay to have 1,000. Listen, you the way you described what you went through, you described it as painful and very unfortunate. So why would you invite other girls to have to potentially experience that?
Because if that's what they choose to do with their body and they understand the consequences of sex and they're having safe
Okay, hold
sex,
on,
then
hold
I'm
on.
for
Do
them
you
doing that.
believe? So would you also tell 15, 16-year-old kids that if you want to do this, I mean, it's your right to. Would you tell them that?
Yeah, if they knew what the drugs would do, yeah. Like if I tell you what heroin's going to do to you and you still decide to take it anyway, I don't have a problem as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences of your choice.
I said, would you tell them that it's okay to do it?
If they're willing to accept the consequence, yes, I would tell them it's okay for them to do it if they're going to accept the consequence of it. If they have been given the
Miss
information
Elizabeth, you're
about it,
polite and you're pleasant, but you are a bad human being.
I'm not a bad human being. I think people
Sweetie,
should be
you're
free
bad for the environment. You said you would encourage people to do things that we know have destroyed people's lives.
I don't see a problem with it if you know the consequences, you're willing to accept them. I don't see
How
what's wrong with
about
it.
you tell that person that it's something that they shouldn't do because you're aware it has destroyed people's lives?
No, but they would be aware of that when we talked about it. But if they still decide to do it, I'm not going to try to stop them because they are
You
aware
said
that
you
that's what's going
said
to
you would
happen.
tell them that it's okay to do it.
I would, because you're willing to accept the consequences. So go do it then. Go do it and let it fuck up your life. Go ahead. But I'm not going to stop you because
Oh,
you
Lord,
already
have
had the
mercy.
information. You chose to, you made your choice. You have to take accountability for your choice. So yeah, I wouldn't say you shouldn't do that. I'm not telling people what to do. I ain't that type of person where I'm going to try to tell you how you need to live your life and what you need to do with your body. I'm going to say these are the potential consequences and things that could happen if you do
I
that.
did not
And if you
ask you
still
that. I
decide to do it,
asked
then go
you if
ahead.
they allowed you to be a speaker in a gymnasium at a high school with 4,000 children. Would you tell them it's okay to do that? Would you tell them that it's okay if they want to do that?
So I would tell them these are the consequences. If they still decide to do it,
I
I tell
asked
them to
you,
go ahead
would
and do
you
it.
tell them that it's okay to do that if they want to do it?
Yes, as long as they are aware of the consequences and are willing to accept the consequences, yes, I would tell them it's okay for you to do it. I would say that, yeah, because I believe that. I'm a philosophical anarchist. I think people should be free to do whatever they want to do
Okay,
as
stop,
long
stop,
as they're
stop,
not
stop,
hurting
stop.
other
Ho, ho,
people.
ho,
I don't
ho,
give a
ho.
damn.
Hold on. Now I need you to stay where you're at. You said you believe people should be able to free to do whatever they want to.
As long as they're not hurting other people and forcing them to
You
do
can't
stuff
say
against their
that.
will,
You can't
absolutely.
say that. You can't say that.
I do. There are
You can't
caveats.
say
It's
that.
not
Either
absolute.
you believe because see what you see as
No, you're
pleasure.
creating a false
No,
dichotomy, and that's
What
not
you see as
correct.
pleasure, I get pleasure from in a different way. I like to touch kids. That the same way that you get pleasure out of this,
But you're hurting
I get that.
children
It
doing
doesn't
that.
matter. That is my
It
pleasure.
does.
No.
As long
What you're
as you're
telling
not
people is
hurting
okay.
another
Listen,
person,
what
do
you're
whatever
telling
you want to
people,
do.
what you're telling people hurts them as well. You told them doing that is okay. That
As long
doesn't
as
hurt
you're
people.
not
That
hurting other people,
destroys
do whatever you
lives.
want. As long as you're not hurting other people against their will, do whatever you want to do. Live your life on terms that make sense to you. I believe that.
Terms that make sense to me is I like 6-year-old girls. So what's wrong with
But
that?
those children cannot consent to
It
that.
doesn't matter. I get
It
pleasure from
does.
it.
It does. Consent matters.
I don't give a
Because
damn
if you
about
take
consent.
away
I'm
someone's
telling
ability
you,
to
I get
consent,
pleasure
you
from it.
are
And
hurting
you
them.
said you believe people should have the right to do what they want to do.
As long as they're not causing harm to other people, yes,
Okay,
they
so
should.
listen to me. Listen to me. You're causing harm to other people by telling them verbally, it's okay to do this.
No, I'm not.
Do you believe that you are influencing people to do something that destroys their life?
I mean,
You said
not
you said you would go so far as to tell them that it's okay to do it.
yes. As long as if you have if we've talked about what this is and what this can do to you, and you still like, I
Oh,
want to
hell
go do
no,
hair,
TikTok. I need
go ahead, do
100,000
it.
likes, TikTok. We got to do better than this, TikTok. Show love to the show. Now I'm
Go
up here
ahead and
losing
do it.
brain cells for you guys. Let's do better than
As
this.
long as you are not forcing someone to do things against their will, do
Ma'am,
whatever you
you
want to
can't
do
have it
and
both
live your
ways. You
life.
are going to have to find a way to re-engineer and restructure your statement. You said people should be free to do whatever they want to do. You can't have it both ways.
As long as they are not harming other people.
I
Taking
want
away
to
a
do
person's
it.
ability to consent
I want to do.
causes
You
harm.
said I should be. Listen, to me, it's not even harming them because when I hear them crying and things like that, in my head, I think it really means yes. So that's what I
No.
say. That's why I say you got to be
A
careful with
child
what.
cannot
Listen, hold
consent
on,
to
hold on. No.
sexual activity.
Do you know that some men who have committed that act said the young girls were looking at them and encouraging it?
Children cannot consent to sex.
Listen, that's
They
why
cannot
your
consent. They don't even
information,
understand it.
your information is very dangerous. Your information is very
No, it isn't.
dangerous.
I said, as long as you are not harming people, then do whatever you want to do. And so taking someone's consent away, their ability to consent because they don't know how to consent, they don't have the ability to consent. You can't do those acts
Hold
with
on,
that
but
person
let's go
because they
back. Well,
can't
I got to read
consent.
these other super chats. The brother said, "How has your boyfriend benefited from you having 1,000 sex partners?"
He likes when I give him head. He likes the sex that we have. Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
would
listen.
say
Do you think that you could have still done that with 20 or less partners?
I don't know. I can't speak to that because at the time when I was having a bunch of sex partners, I wasn't really concerned with them and their pleasure or whatever. I didn't care
Listen,
if
has
they have.
he ever introduced you to his mom?
He has not introduced me to his mom.
Ma'am, listen, let me help you understand something. Okay? You listening? You listening?
Dead man.
Dead man walking.
Welcome to Death Row.
That's how that's going to go for you, ma'am. You will never see his mom, ma'am. Why do you think why do you think that you will never see his mom?
Maybe he
Ma'am,
doesn't
there's
think
not a man on the entire planet who would introduce a woman who has had sex with 1,000 men to their mom. Not on this entire planet.
I've had men just because this man hasn't doesn't mean there weren't other men that introduced me to their families.
Those other men.
I've met other men's families.
Those other men, did they know? Well, they were, I'm actually, I take that back because we know that there's a thing that exists.
Beta.
There are beta males and simps and suckers out there, so I actually retract my statement. The brother ZF over here in this situation. Where did it go? Okay, there it goes. Shout out to the brother ZF over here with the super chat. Yeah, it sounds like you're just making excuses for hoe activity.
No, I'm not making excuses.
Tiny said,
I did what I did.
Shout out to Tiny over here with the super chat. Listen, Tiny says, rate yourself.
I did
As
what
a
I
woman,
did.
rate your, listen, he wants you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10.
In terms of what?
As a woman, I guess.
As a woman?
Yes, ma'am.
On like a scale of 1 to 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Like in terms of what? Being like a partner or
I
just
guess
being
as a woman, as a good woman, I guess. As a valuable woman.
I'd say I'm like maybe a 6 or 7, depending on the day.
Okay, that's respectful. Shout out to Tiny over here rocking with us, supporting the show.
I mean, I'm a flawed person. I'm so flawed.
You said
I
you're
would
what?
say I try to be a good person. I'm a very flawed person, but I try to be a good person. So I can't say I'm like a 10 or anything like that because that certainly isn't true, right? I think I'm like a 6 or 7 because I genuinely try to be like a good person. I try to take accountability for what I do.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Hey, ho. Whoa, ho. Hey, I think somebody done blocked my sister on I don't know what it's on. Is she talking about TikTok? One of the moderators done tapped my sister out. Listen, so I want to say something to you. I have a question for you. Listen, TikTok, we almost there. We get turn these comments back on. You get us to 75,000 likes. Let's go. Tap that screen. You know what? Let me help y'all. I guess I can. Listen, so I have a question for you, Miss Elizabeth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you go to a gymnasium full of kids, and if they allowed you to speak, would you promote that it's a good thing for them to get their buttholes blew out?
If they understood what it was and they wanted to do it, yeah. And they were going to do it safely, yes, I would. If they were at a age they could understand sex, they could understand what that was, and that they wanted to do it, and they had a partner that could consent as well, and that was something they want to do, yeah, I would do it. If they have the ability, if they're old enough to consent to sex, and they know what that is, they know what the consequences of that is, and they have someone who's willing to do it with them, yeah, I would say go ahead and do it. I would say that to them. Now, if they're little kids, I wouldn't say that to them.
I'm talking
because they
about
don't have the
16 and
capacity.
17. I'm talking about 16
Yeah,
and 17.
absolutely. Yes. That okay, if they're that age, yeah, I would tell them go ahead and do it. As long as you have a willing partner, it's going to be done safely. You know what the consequences are. If you want to still do it, knock yourself out. Go ahead. Because you're the one that has to live with the behavior and the consequences.
But
I don't have
you
to live
as
with
an
the
adult
consequences.
are promoting it.
I don't see anything wrong with them having sex. See, that's the issue. You see things wrong with them having
So
sex.
listen, hold on.
Having
Listen,
sex with
Elizabeth,
somebody.
slow
I
down.
don't see that. I don't
Listen, let me say
believe
this
that.
to you, Elizabeth. Hey, Zia. Uh, listen. Do you think that your viewpoints make society a better place?
I do. Because I value
Ma'am, I
freedom.
was
And I
hoping you was
value
at least going to be reasonable and say hell to the no.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I think that as long as you're not harming other people, I think people should do whatever they want to do. And I don't think it's for me to condemn them or make judgments because they're not hurting anybody. Maybe they're hurting themselves, but I don't care if you hurt yourself. Knock yourself out with that. But
Man, what type
but
of
if
world would we be living in if everybody, all of the adults who are supposed to be the ones passing down information to the generations to come after us, taught the children, I don't care if you want to hurt yourself, knock yourself out?
I'm a proponent for freedom. So I'm a proponent for freedom. So I think people should do whatever they want as long as they're
So
not
you
harming another.
believe that women should be able to have as many ABs as they want to. Anytime they want to, they should be able to even listen, even when it hasn't been forceful, even when there's not a health threat, a woman should be able to go to the clinic as many times. And you know what?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That just means the majority of y'all are hoes. You agree with that?
No, I don't think they're hoes. I don't think I'm a hoe. I never got paid for sex. So how am I a whore? A whore
A
gets paid
hoe.
to have
I
sex.
said a hoe. You're talking about a WHORE. I said a hoe. A hoe is a
What's
different
the
thing.
difference between the
A
two?
hoe passes that thing around, and it can be for a blunt and some Hennessy. A hoe just passes it around. Listen, ma'am. So, do you believe going to the clinic is traumatizing?
What, to
Having,
have an abortion?
yeah, to
Is
have
that what
them
you're talking about?
stick those clamps up in you and crush the skull of a fetus. You believe that's traumatizing?
I had an abortion when I was 13
Yeah,
after I
I
was
asked
raped.
you.
So
Do
yeah.
you think it's traumatizing, or do you think it's a good thing?
Not for everybody.
Okay, so my question to
Not
you is this. You think that people should be able to just get pregnant, go to AB, get pregnant, go to AB, get pregnant, go to AB. You believe that?
if that's what they want to do, yeah.
I believe
Because
you.
that
I
baby
believe.
depends
Listen,
on
listen,
the mother until
listen.
it reaches
I
the age
like
of
you.
viability.
I like
So
you.
yes.
I believe you're pleasant. You're polite. I believe you should be in prison right now.
Maybe. But I've never done anything
You
to get
don't
put in
believe
prison.
that you are a danger to society.
I don't think I'm a danger to society. I think I'm a proponent for freedom. As long as you're not harming nobody else, do whatever you want to do. Live your life.
Do you
That's what
believe?
I believe.
Do you believe that a fetus that is live and growing is considered one of the anybody's that as long as you're not harming? You're taking a life, man.
No, if
Listen,
it's
hold on.
before
Do
the
you
age
believe
of
this? Do you
viability,
believe this? Do you believe that AB is the interruption of life taking place?
not if the child hasn't reached the age of viability, no. Because
It's a
before the age of
plant, ma'am,
viability, the
ma'am.
baby,
A plant is alive. A plant is alive. It can hear you. Plants
a baby
perform
can't
better.
survive without the mother before the age of viability.
I
So
need you
if she
to. I
wants to
need you
get
to
rid of
listen.
it before then, go ahead and get rid
Listen.
of it.
I need you to
What's
listen.
wrong with that?
So listen to me. You said it can't survive without her. Means you're admitting that it's already alive, ma'am.
Of course it's alive, but because it
Hold
depends
on.
on her for survival, she can kill it.
How do you stop something that is alive from being alive? How do you do that?
You terminate it. You terminate its life.
Okay, ma'am. So you said you're a proponent for freedom as long as you're not affecting somebody else's life. You just told me that is terminating a life, ma'am.
It's a parasite until the age of viability. It's a parasite. So she can get rid of it if she wants. It's just like if she had parasites in her colon and she killed them, same thing. That baby cannot survive outside her body before the age of viability. So if she terminates it before the age of viability, oh, she's just getting rid of a parasite, in my opinion. I don't see anything
Ma'am,
wrong
do
with that.
you know that thing is
That baby
inside?
is a
Hold on.
parasite
Do
till the
you
age of
know
viability.
thing? No, it's not. That thing is inside of
Yes,
her.
it is.
Listen, do you know that thing is inside of her eating
Yes.
to stay alive?
Yes. Yes. It's a parasitic organism until the age of viability when it can exist outside her body. Until if it requires her body
Ma'am,
to
some
survive,
women have. Do you
it's
know what a
parasite.
Do you
Get
know what
rid
a
of it.
premature birth is? You can snatch a baby out. Do you know what a premature birth is? Tell me.
Yes,
Do you
I was
know
born premature.
some people have had preemie babies and they take them out and put them in an incubator and then they can survive without the mom?
They can't survive before the age of viability. They can't survive
What
before
is the
20
age of
weeks.
viability? What is the age of viability?
It's like 20 weeks, 22 weeks. Those babies that are born premature, they might be 28 weeks. They might be 24 weeks. Now that I think is wrong. But if it's at 8 weeks or 10 weeks, kill it. It's a parasite. Go ahead and kill it. It's parasitic to me, in my opinion. It acts like a parasite. So it should, if you want to terminate it, knock yourself out. You're not harming anything that can't survive on its own.
How
So
much
why do I
time?
care
After
about
how much time is a fetus considered a baby? After how much time?
I think it becomes a fetus at like 8 weeks or 10 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And then the age
You're
of viability is at
exactly
like 20.
right, ma'am. So if it's considered a baby, you're taking a life.
But it can't survive until the age of viability outside the mother's
Yeah,
body.
listen.
So as long
Yeah.
as it is, if it's before 20 weeks, that baby cannot survive outside its mother's body. Therefore, it is a parasite until that moment, until it reaches the age of viability. Therefore, if she wants to kill it, go ahead. Because all you're doing is getting rid of a parasite, just like any other parasite that's in your body. If you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. Now, once the age of viability is reached and the baby can survive outside the mother, then yeah, she shouldn't abort it. She should just have them take it out of her body. That's actually how that should go. But if it's before the age of viability and the baby cannot survive outside the mother's body and she don't want it to be in her body, then yeah, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and kill it. Knock yourself out because it's a parasite at that point because it can't survive outside of her body. So it's a parasite.
Well, we
That's
can
what
get
it
off
is.
of this because there's nothing to do. You gonna stick to your guns. You are the poster face for feminism. There's no doubt about that.
I'm an
You
anti-feminist.
are different. Margaret, you make Margaret Singer seem like a true to life, honest to God Christian.
I'm actually an anti-feminist. I'm not a feminist.
Uh,
I don't agree with feminism because the feminists, what they do is they act like
Hey,
agendered people don't exist. And I don't
BTG, hold
support
on.
a
The
philosophy
BTG
that does that.
said, BTG said,
What do you say? I can't read that.
listen, BTG said 1,000 bodies is African warlord number.
Damn, that's savage. I like that though. That's funny.
He said African warlord numbers.
I mean, that's probably
Listen,
true.
shout out to the freak in this situation rocking with us. He said, what did she say about Donald Trump? Yeah, them is African warlord numbers though. That's real. Hey. Listen, for those of you who don't know, I'm about to take the badges down. If you have not yet become a member of the show, of the hottest show online, people, you guys won't be able to see the content. Even shows like this, after the shows are over, they go onto the members only. You can become a member. It's $2.99 a month. If you've just becoming a member, you'll get this white badge right here. You get this white badge. It'll always be next to your name in our chats. After you've been a member for a month, you'll get this black badge. So listen, and for those of you who don't know, the initials, the TRSP, TIC, that is my inner circle, right? The real Stacey Prince inner circle. So for those of you who have not become members of the YouTube channel yet, it's in your best interest. Go do that now. Handle your business. Rock with us like we rock with you. One more thing, because I see your mind can be changed about anything. But here's one thing that I often like to do when, there's gray areas and points that can't necessarily be proven, things like that. They can be proven. We can prove them by outcomes. When you said you don't believe that a woman's dating value is affected by how many children she has, ma'am, they can't get married. So that alone lets you know it's significant.
Yeah, they can.
No, they can't.
They can't get married.
No, they can't. Very far and few between.
You just said there are betas and simps that would like when I mentioned that
they don't want them. Listen, watch this.
But they'll marry them.
They don't want them. Okay. Oh, let me phrase that. They can't get married to quality men, and women are not attracted to men who aren't quality men. They'll cheat on them. Watch. If you don't believe me and I'm a man, ladies, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you okay? How okay are you marrying a simp, a beta male, a less assertive man, just to have someone marry you? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning you're very down with it, everything else means you're not. I want to see. Listen, Simply the Beast says 0. Chosen says 0. Listen, then we'll go over here to all of these other platforms. Look, 0, 0, hell no. So that means they can't.
But them betas and simps are married. There are betas that are married. There are simps that are married.
Do
so somebody
you know?
Married them.
Do you know what is the percent in America? 50. What is it? I don't want to misquote it. Around 35% of the boys the age between, I think it's 18 and 30 are virgins.
Mm-hmm.
They're not messing with these women. People don't want somebody who's coming to the table with another man's children. We're laying over here in bed, and because your old baby daddy calls you, even if it's a legit call, you're not my woman. You're a piece of my woman, but who you belong to is who you're prioritized to. And even if he has the kids for the weekend, you have created a situation in your life to where even if you're my woman laying next to me in bed and I have you have to prioritize picking up the phone from another man. Prioritize it.
And if he's securing himself, he shouldn't have a problem with that.
It doesn't matter. He's still not priority. He's still not your number one priority. Listen, now hold on. Not only is he not your number one priority, he's around number 3 because you can look on all of these women's dating sites and they say, my kids come first. So that means
they should.
What quality man do you think works as hard as he can to become a quality man so he can be someone's third fucking priority, man?
A man who's secure in himself and knows that
He's
the kid
so
should come
secure in
first.
himself that he won't allow himself to be played for third fiddle, man.
No, that sounds like an insecure man that's worried about her taking a phone
More
call from the
feminist
child's
rhetoric.
father.
More feminist rhetoric.
That's
You
not
took
no feminist
TikTok.
rhetoric.
Rock with your
That's
brother.
just true.
I need a couple of people to send your brother some of the
If I was with a man that
galaxy.
had kids,
Send
and
me
he
the galaxy,
took the
people.
phone from the
You guys know
mother
your
of
brother
those
up here
kids,
losing
I'm
hair
not gonna
follicles.
feel no type of way
Rock
about
with me
that.
like I rock with you. Let's go. Let's keep this thing going.
Because
Listen,
he needs to take care of his kids. So if
you're
he takes a phone call
listen,
from her,
can we
I don't have a
agree?
problem with it.
Can we agree that you're believing just whatever you desire to believe? Can we agree that you're not believing the things that you think
But so
are
are
right?
you.
No, I'm believing, I'm agreeing with the things that I believe are right, that cause a better
So
society.
am I.
Listen, hold on.
So is everybody.
Watch this. No, they're not doing that. I like sex, but I believe it creates the worst society for me to be out here busting down everything that's moving, even if they're gorgeous. So I choose, even though I would like to do it, I choose not to live my life like that because of the results that it brings about. I would like to, but I don't believe it's the right thing. I would love to, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. It brings about worse results in society. We're not supposed to condone and surrender to the things of the flesh, the things that, ooh, this would be beneficial to me. We're supposed to condone and surrender to the things that create better solutions. Do you agree with that?
Yes, but I don't understand how sex doesn't create better solutions, because I like sex and I like having sex and I have a lot of sex because I like it and I enjoy it and it makes me happy. So me having sex makes me happy. So it is giving me better outcomes in my life because I enjoy it. I don't think there's anything wrong with having lots of sex. I like having lots of sex. I like it. And so I don't see anything wrong with having a bunch of sex. I don't think there's wrong with having with a bunch of men in a rotation and having sex with them if you want. I mean, I don't do that myself because again, I'm in a monogamous relationship.
You're kind of a terrible person. You're polite and pleasant, but you're a terrible human being.
I'm not a terrible human being. I just have different values than you. That doesn't
You don't know.
Hold
on. I think you just worded that wrong. Ma'am, you don't have any values.
I do. I value freedom. I value equity. I value I don't value feminism. Those are things that I value. I don't value feminism, and I value sex, and I value happiness, and I value freedom. So I do have values.
Well, if you
now,
value
they may not be your
happiness,
values. They may
ma'am,
not be your values.
listen, we
but
can
I have my
tell.
own
We
values.
can tell what values are good and bad based on the results that they create. Do you agree with that? I
No.
probably shouldn't be touching younger kids because of what it does to younger kids.
Yeah, and the fact that it violates their ability.
The happy
they can't-
Bayesian in this situation,
Always
rocking
open.
with the brothers, supporting the show. My guy,
But
I appreciate you.
Our values have priorities, right? Like you have certain values that you give a higher priority than other values.
They're not my values.
I'm the same way.
I don't, my values are derived off of what I believe is closely associated to righteousness.
Yes, but
My
they have a
values
hierarchy.
aren't derived from me.
No, but they have a hierarchy, do they not? So there are certain things that you value more than other things. Is that not, or do you all value all your values the same?
No, my values my value system is created based on the results that it produces in life.
That's not what I said. I said that you have certain things that you value more, and there's other things that you don't value them as much.
Yeah,
so
but what's the point in that? What do you mean? So what? What's your point?
So for example, like for me, the primary thing that I value is freedom. So I value freedom over sex. I value freedom over happiness. So there's a hierarchy of values. There's things that I value more and there's things that I value less. Therefore, I can create a hierarchical list of values.
So listen, basically you're admitting that you don't care about how things affect communities, families, and society as a whole, as long as people get to express their freedoms.
and they're not harming other people while they do it. Yes, I do.
You can't
I
put
put
that
that
you
because
can't put
I
that you
give
can't put
that.
that there. You can't put that there. Some people
Yes, you
believe
can,
no.
because otherwise
Some
you're
people
creating a
believe
false
that
dichotomy.
some people believe that it is a righteous thing to do to be racist and go around harming other races.
Yes, they do, but that doesn't mean it's right though. That is not congruent with
It's
what I value.
right in their eyes.
But that's not congruent with what I value.
Mr.
I'm telling you
OT
what
in
I
this
value.
situation supporting the show.
No,
My
what I
people
value
rocking.
is that people can
Chosen
do what they
one.
want as long as they don't harm somebody else.
Listen, I think
And
you're
so,
missing the point. Everybody has different definitions of harming someone else. Like that man said, he feels like that young child was flirting with him. See, now you have to get in somebody else's mind and say, now you have to judge someone else's mind. Mr. OT up in this mother.
no, you don't have to judge it. Did the child consent or not? It's consent. It's not.
I
That's a
believe
yes
the
or no.
child consented because she was looking at me too long and she smiled when she was looking at me.
No. Not believe. Did the child consent or not?
No,
Fuck
you have to
believing if they
implement believe in
consented.
there because you have a belief on what freedom is. You have your belief on what freedom is. I have my belief on what flirting is. I believe that 7-year-old flirted with me because she
No, but
looked
there's
at
an
me and she
objective
looked at me too
definition
long
and
and
a
she was smiling.
subjective definition. They're not the same.
They're all
There's a
subjective.
difference.
All right.
There's a difference between what I subjectively believe freedom is and what freedom actually is objectively. Those are not the same thing. I can sit here and believe whatever I want about a thing. That doesn't mean that it's accurate.
The
That doesn't mean
Daywalker
that it
definitely in the
triangulates with
building
reality.
supporting the tip top.
You can believe whatever you
Chosen
want. That
one in
doesn't
this
mean
building
it's
supporting us.
or it's congruent with reality. So you're talking purely in subjective terms, and that's not what I'm talking about. Because subjective exists, but the objective does too.
Okay, so if the objective exists, is it wrong for me to force a 10-year-old to marry me?
It's wrong to force anyone to marry you.
Okay, that's not what they believe in Iraq.
I know that's not what they believe in Iraq.
Okay, it's even legal.
I know because they're practicing Sharia law because they're fundamentalist
It doesn't
Muslims.
matter.
Yes.
To them, it's right.
It does matter. It does matter that they're
It is
fundamentalists.
subjective.
They're practicing fundamentalist Islam. That does matter because moderate
What are
Muslims
you
do not
practicing?
believe that.
What
They
are
don't
you
do
practicing by saying it's okay for teenagers to have 1,000 sex partners?
I'm practicing Buddhism.
You're practicing
my version of
Satanism.
Buddhism.
You're practicing Satanism.
No, it's not Satanism.
Okay, let me ask you
Buddhism.
this: do you believe in a God?
No, I don't. I'm an atheist.
Oh,
There is no God in Buddhism.
okay,
There is no
you're
God
right.
in
I don't even know
Buddhism.
why
There
I
is
didn't
no
catch up on
Satan in
that.
Buddhism.
You're right. I don't know why I didn't catch up on that. All right, you got any other questions for me? Because we're never going to come to a definitive on it. So, but I respect.
No, we're not. We're not.
Yeah.
But I don't agree that a woman's value comes from her vagina or how many penises she had in her vagina. I don't agree with
Then why do we call them hoes? Then you think when we call
because you calling them hoes, that don't mean that's what they are just because you calling
listen,
them that.
men, it does. Men are the consumers of women. So what we say determines a woman's value.
No, it doesn't. A woman has a value that's independent of what a man thinks of her.
Listen,
I have value that doesn't matter.
Ma'am, if you date men, your worth is completely up to what men say.
And what about women that have decided not to date men? What about lesbians? Where their value come from?
Their value
comes
from what the women think about them.
No, their value.
So if all women, if you like women, but all women look at you like, ma'am, you're gonna have a tough time dating.
But that doesn't mean I don't have any value just because nobody else.
It means your dating value is very low. You're talking about personal value. I'm talking about dating value.
But
you can't call. Listen, you can't call yourself a 10. You can, if you're 300 pounds and your ass ugly, your face looks like an ass that has been sit on for too long. You're calling yourself a 10. If you are never receiving even the results that 6s get, ma'am, you're not a damn 10. If you listen, if you work at McDonald's, but you claim you're the vice president of America, does that make you the vice president of America, ma'am? See, what you
No,
think
it doesn't.
ain't shit. What? The men are the purchasers of women. If all
No, they're
men,
not. Women are not an object to be purchased or bought or
ma'am,
owned
when I
like they're
say
a slave.
purchase,
No.
I'm talking about from a dating perspective. Women who are, what's the word? Starts with H. What is it? They're not GAY. They like men. What's the word?
Heterosexual?
Heterosexual, yes. Women who are heterosexual, their value is derived from what men think about them.
No, they're not.
Hold on, Elizabeth. Let me ask you this, Elizabeth. Can you make men, name something that you can do to make men view you as a 10? Tell me, what can you do, Elizabeth?
I can cook their meals. I can bake for them.
That has nothing to do with your physical beauty aesthetic.
No, it doesn't. But those are things of value I bring that have nothing to do with my vagina
Listen,
or how many
name
dicks have been
something that you can do to make people think you are more beautiful than Halle Berry. What can you do?
I can't do nothing because I ain't more beautiful than Halle Berry.
Okay,
She's
sweet.
objectively more attractive than I
Okay,
am.
hold on. I respect that. But
a
listen,
lot.
here's what I'm saying to you, sweetie. Men have to think that you're more beautiful than Halle Berry in order for you to get a reputation for being more beautiful than Halle Berry.
No, you can objectively measure aesthetics by looking at the golden ratio, looking at the symmetry of her face and her
Name
body.
me a woman.
Looking at the
Name
proportions
me a
of
woman.
it. Those are mathematical
Name me a woman.
formulas.
Name me a woman who has been objectively ranked more beautiful than Halle Berry, who is in fact not ranked more beautiful by men. Tell me, name anyone in the world.
I would say I
Yeah,
can't
name
do,
anything,
no,
any
the
scenario.
Second part, no, the second
Listen,
part
hold
I
on,
can't
stop it. Name me any woman who is more beautiful, who has been said to be more beautiful than Halle Berry, but other men say she's ass ugly. Name a scenario like that.
No. The woman who has the most symmetrical face will be Shania Twain. So if you look at Shania Twain's face, her face is perfectly symmetrical. It's the most symmetrical face I've ever seen, and she's
How many
considered
times?
one of the most
Okay, so
beautiful
how
women.
many times has Shania Twain been voted the most beautiful woman in the world? Because Halle Berry has.
I don't know.
That's my
I'm not
point.
sure.
What men say is what matter in heterosexual relationships. And if you
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If what men say isn't the end all be all in heterosexual relationships, can you answer? Now, I want you to listen and I want you to give me an answer that is not BS, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best.
BBLs are life-threatening surgeries. Can you tell me why women are proceeding on to get them?
They're proceeding to get them to make themselves feel better than other women. To make them to say I'm better than this
So
woman.
do you
or
think that
I'm
women
attracted to another woman.
would get those BBLs if there was no such thing? Okay, matter of fact, let's do it like this. This will answer it. Name me 5 GAY women who have BBLs. Ma'am, they're doing it for men. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense.
No, they're doing it for other women.
If they were doing it for other
appear.
women, you would see an epidemic of it happening in the GAY community, ma'am.
But
That's
is
not
happening in that
listen.
community.
You're not seeing that happen in the GAY community. You're seeing it happen
It
in the.
is happening.
Listen, sweetie.
You know why?
Sweetie.
Because
Hold on,
that
sweetie. Hold on.
is
Hold on.
attractive to gay
Well,
women.
okay, do this for me. I need you to name me 10 women who are GAY and do not mess with men who have BBLs. Famous or whatever. They could be famous or whatever. Okay, now ask me to name 10 heterosexual women who. See, ma'am, you're trying hard to go against something that we can prove.
No.
But listen, hold on,
No.
stop. Let's go here. Why do you think women are plastering their faces with makeup every single day, even to the extent they say, I won't even go to the mailbox without putting my face on. Who do you think they're doing that for, themselves? Because listen, ma'am.
No, they're doing that. They're doing that because they're competing with other women, and they're
Okay,
trying to
the
show
other
that I'm
women that
better
they're
than you.
the other women that they're competing with, who are they doing it for?
They're doing it to be the
Ma'am,
in the
why
friend
won't
group,
you
right?
admit that they're doing it for men? Why not?
Because they're not doing it for men. That's what you don't get. A lot of women do this stuff because they want to be the prettiest girl in
Let
their
me ask
friend
you
group.
another.
They're not doing it for you. They're doing it to compete with the other women they're around so they can say, I'm better than you. I'm more pretty than you.
And how
I'm more
do
attractive than you.
listen? What allows what gives the ultimate judgment on whether or not she is better than that girl? It's the caliber of men that each of them can date.
No.
It is. If I
No,
go
it
out and
isn't.
plaster myself with makeup and you go out and plaster yourself with makeup, who the hell is the judge, ma'am?
No, that's why women will compare what bags they have. They'll compare what shoes they have. They'll
Ma'am,
compare
that's
all of these
completely different.
feel
Men do
good.
that with vehicles and jewelry. What I'm telling you, listen, the same way that
Yeah,
men.
they're competing with other men, right?
No,
So they're
listen, ma'am,
doing it
listen.
to show I'm the best man here.
Men like having snazzy things because it makes us more appealing in the eyes of women.
And they like it too because it makes them feel like they're better than the other men that they're
In some
around. They're
cases,
not
but
just
it's
doing it
I
only for
agree, but it's
women.
primarily women. We get
Just
more
like women are
poontang
not
with.
doing all that stuff primarily for men. They're doing it
All
to
right,
compete
well,
with other women.
I see we're not gonna see anything eye to eye. But you got anything else for me?
No, we're not. Because I don't agree with you. Just based on my experiences with women, a lot of women do this stuff to compete with other women because they're competing. They're trying to be the prettiest girl in their friend group so they can say, I'm better than you. I'm more attractive than you. I have more stuff than you do. So I have more value than you. That doesn't make it true. But people are insecure, so they do this because they want to feel like they're better than other people. But that doesn't have anything to do with men. Why does it have to be about men? Why do women have to
Listen.
be focused on men?
You said why?
Yeah. Women don't need a man. They don't
Turbulence,
need a relationship.
people.
Those things are nice to have.
The reason that everything has to be about men because men run the fucking world.
No,
Any
they
more
don't.
questions?
No. Behind every great man was a woman. And the
Okay,
woman was
okay.
running
Stop. So you said behind every great man was a woman?
Yes.
So that means behind every piece of shit man was a woman, right?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, then. So you can't run the world if you're making pieces of shit men.
No, we do run the world because we run the men. So
Listen,
if we control you, we control the world, don't
if
we?
women run the world, who did you have to come to get your rights to vote? Who did you have to come to get your rights to work? Tell me, ma'am.
We had to go to the Supreme Court and to the Congress to get those made into amendments.
Who runs both
Just
of those?
like people.
Stop it. Stop talking. Stop it.
So they can stop having
Stop
slavery.
talking over me. Who is in charge of both of those entities you just named?
Women. Women
Ma'am, if there was no women working, then that means you couldn't go to the damn Supreme Court where women work because you weren't working.
No, because women control the men that they're with. Therefore, they are in the control. Even though the man is in the face of it, he's sitting in the chair, he's got the title. The woman that he's with, she controls him.
So you believe, listen. So you believe, listen. So you, okay. So then that means, okay. So what do you think about Donald Trump? Tell me, is he a very amazing man?
I think that he is I think he is literally the embodiment of Satan.
Okay, so that means women are a piece of shit because according to you, Melania Trump is the reason he's doing all of that stuff he's doing.
Yes, I believe
Ma'am,
that.
do you know how damn crazy you sound?
No, there's a lot of
hold on.
fucked up women that are in the world.
No, stop it.
So?
If women are behind all of the stuff that men are doing, why are you blaming men for being deadbeat dads and shit if women are responsible for what we're doing?
Because everybody's got to take responsibility for what they chose.
No. You said women.
Yes.
No, listen. You said women. See, you just don't want to admit you stuck your foot in your mouth. If women are behind all of the things that men are doing, then stop blaming men. It's you pieces of shit women doing this stuff.
But men still chose to do it. Men
So we
were
don't
supposed
care.
to
We'll
marry
do it.
him.
We'll do what you tell us
So
to
for
do.
example,
We'll do all of the things you tell us to do. Long as you admit that you guys are responsible for all of these wars, all of these
we're
cops taking.
responsible for that part, but you're responsible for marrying us.
No,
And
we're
you're
doing what you
responsible
tell
for
us to
letting
do.
us have that
So
power.
that means
That is
Donald,
your
you said Donald
responsibility.
Trump is the embodiment of Satan. No, he's not. That means you guys are pieces of shit. That's all that means.
We are. Most
Okay.
of us are.
All right, I appreciate you coming
but-
up, sweetie. Subscribe to the show. We got to go.
Okay.
You take care. Subscribe to the show. My neck and my back. If you guys do not hit that damn Cash App, I am so serious. And I'm sitting here with a gland that's swollen in the back of my neck. Potluck said, I don't know how you do it, bro. Big L always in here rocking with us, supporting the show. I appreciate you, my guy. Listen, Big L, I want you to come over here to YouTube to be a member, man. The people who rock with us strong, I want you guys to be members so I can identify y'all. Matter of fact, you can become a member on TikTok too. Those of you who are not members of the TikTok page, become a member. That stuff's only $2.99 a month, and I'll be able to identify you and show you love. DJ up in this situation, rocking with us, supporting the show. I gotta see what my people over here on YouTube saying. Listen, my back is hurting, my neck is hurting, and I'm dead serious. 3 hours. Listen, what did she say? What did she say? Where's that at? Look, KH said I was a preemie. Like, man, it's crazy, man, the things that you can get a woman to support, man. Look. They said it's safe to say, ma'am, that you are in fact a devil worshiper. OB. Hey, listen, Vape King said women should go along with the Bible. The purpose of a woman is to keep men company and to have kids. Yet they not doing it. Most leave after a few years on to the next man. The reason that I say that most women should subscribe to the Bible is because most women in America don't know how to be women. That's why they can't get wife, because when we see most of these women, we don't see a woman. When we see women, we act a certain way, right? We see females mostly in America. That's what we see in America. Hey, shout out to my bro Ether up in this situation. He said SP is talking to a real semen demon, a big back succubus. Like, listen, I'm going to tell you guys now. I know she's been through some trauma, of course, so we know not to take, I'm going to tell you the worst part about this conversation. This is the worst part about this conversation. Listen, even though her beliefs and things like that were way left, she was more polite and more respectful and more feminine than most of the women we bring up here. Who disagrees? That's a fact. That's a fact. She wasn't nasty. She was respectful. So that just goes to show, even when you guys is I tell you this, I bet that backside was fire though. When you got a woman who's almost willing to do anything, promotes the back door, all of that. Jeez. Look, Big Ant said true. Hey, this woman probably drinks booty juice and everything. He said, there's pretty much, look, her dude would be like, I just want to know what the boundary lines is before we embark upon this relationship. There's pretty much nothing that I won't do, baby. You can just do whatever you want to me. But I have respect for her because when she said what happened to her, that's the only way that I could see a woman having that mindset. She suffered extensive damage. The freak said, I like her hair. Yeah. She's a cool person. She just, we don't have to agree, but that's why we have to do these shows, man, to combat women who are teaching these teachings. Listen, let me say it again, people. Those of you who have not subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, I need you guys to rock on out. It's $2.99 a month. This is the badge right here that will be beside your name once you subscribe as a new subscriber. And this is the badge that you'll get after you've been a subscriber for a month. So let's get it in, people. You already know what it is. We have not even gotten into the fucking show yet. At all. That is crazy, people. Let's go.
I'm supposed to settle for a regular type dude.
How tall are you?
I am 5'3".
Dress. Nice.
I'm supposed to settle for a regular type dude.
How tall are you?
I am 5'3".
Dress size?
I am a medium.
Dress size? Number?
A 10.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
157.
Fresh face out of the shower, just your natural face. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you
This
rank
is
your
my
looks?
natural face.
What? Okay, fresh face out of the shower, your natural face. You can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? 1 to 10.
A 6.
Okay. A 6 is right above average. A 5 is average, right?
Look at this woman. She believes she's a 6. And this is why the late, great Kevin Samuels' system that he implemented was legendary, because women can seep in and out of delusion. They can very often, like multiple times a day, right? When it doesn't agree, when reality doesn't agree with something that they wish was reality, they can force themselves to believe it. But when you start pulling open dictionaries, when you start pulling out statistics, when you start cracking open instances that took place in history that either resulted in good outcomes or bad outcomes, she'll still attempt to go delusional. But in the privacy of her home, when she gets off of the show, she'll be forced to have the visual of the video that was placed up on the screen to prove to her. She'll be forced to deal with that video. She'll be forced to go back and forth for herself and be delusional on a solo level with herself until she comes to the conclusion, I saw that damn video. Maybe girls as big as me don't get all of the men, but they get some. And the more they watch the show, they are confronted with factual ideas. Like this woman. This woman believes she's a 6. But watch.
You're 5'3", 100, a dress size 10, so that's above average weight. 5'3", you should be roughly dress size 4. 4'6", 125 pounds. Even if I believe you're 157, 160, you're almost 33 pounds, 33% over your ideal target weight. And you have listen. If you're average to cute looking, if you're below average health from a weight standpoint, and you have 2 children, overall, does that make you below average, average, or above average? Factor all those things in together.
Average.
So why should you get anything over? Then why should you get above average? What do you mean settle for? You should get what you are.
I see millionaires with average women all the time.
You see how far they're willing to go to lie to themselves? It's insane. It's insane. And see, ladies, I want you guys to understand. I know you already know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is why we have a difficult time dealing with you. The things that you say are absolutely insane to us. Absolutely insane. I see millionaires with average looking women all the time. If you do, it's because she was with him before he established his financial success. You do not see. You can't show me an average looking woman that Nick Cannon has a child by.
They don't have big chest tattoos either, and 2 other kids. Man, I'm just saying. Okay, I want to. No. I mean, let's be honest. Why should an average woman say she's settling for an average man? Maybe
ain't
that
nothing
makes
wrong with it. Wait.
No, you said so I should just settle. No, you said that. Listen. You said so I should just settle for an average guy, and I'm like, you're an average woman. Why should you not get?
I would be settling. I mean, nothing wrong with it.
This is a average. To be honest, she's below average because she looks like she's in her late 40s. This is an average looking woman who was never fine, right? She's just not ugly. Average looking woman with 2 children saying, I would be settling if I got an average man. You people are insane to us.
Why would you be settling and he wouldn't? So what would he be doing? Would he be upgrading?
He don't got no money. So If he don't have no money,
You ain't fine enough for no money.
I'm not fine enough for no money.
No. You're
Average
6.
women
You're
date
5. You're 5. You said
billionaires.
you're 6, ma'am. You said you're 6. You don't get money. You get second shift at the plant. Did you go to college?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
But
ma'am. So
I have my own business. Though.
congratulations. Don't care. Ma'am, you got 2 children. And you said you are 6. I give you, okay, 5, 6. Your numbers together would be average. So why? So an average man would be upgrading to get you.
Look, I didn't say
I'm
all
asking.
that.
I'm asking, ma'am, because ma'am. We're just having a conversation. You said you'd be settling, so by extension, he would
Okay,
be.
so
Hold on. This got to be a troll. Raina said Mariah Carey was average. I'm not even going to address that.
I guess we'll be settling for each other.
Well, but he, no. But my issue is, you said settling for him. That means you'd be getting something less than what you deserve. When we settle, we get less.
I already have everything that I need. If he's not adding to me, then
This woman looks like she's in her 50s. She looks like what our grandmothers used to look like. I tell you guys all the time, I just wish I could be a woman for like, be in the mind of a woman for, I wouldn't want it to be too long. Maybe like minute and 20 seconds or something like that. Just long enough to feel that turbulence. Because I know it's a lot of turbulence taking place. It's like, men, we see a microphone. We see a microphone right here. I think when women look at this, they see a bicycle or something. That's how far apart we are. It's insane. It's like this woman doesn't really know what she legit looks like. She says she would be settling to have to deal with an average man.
that will be settling, right?
Fabian, I want you to understand what I asked you last night. I asked this question oftentimes with black women. If you have to work as hard.
Hey, Zeke said this lady is out of her mind.
Today, or harder if you want children with a husband, would you rather have a husband or be single? And almost 100% of the time, black women would say, if I have to work as hard as I am today with a husband, I'd rather be single, because a husband is not, just by being a man ain't enough. He's supposed to make her life easier. That is why I have no problem telling women to die alone. It is not our job to make women's lives easier. It's our job to protect, provide, but that's not necessarily easy. It's harder. Relationships are hard. So, ma'am, you got all the things you need except somebody to share life with. And the man who can meet your standards, okay? Can he meet other women's standards? Okay, then why should he not get the best? If he can meet your high standard, he can meet another woman's standard. And all I'm saying is that why should a man have to settle for a woman with 2 kids? Because you got a business?
They don't have, Kevin, they don't have to settle for me.
But you said you'd be settling for him.
Okay, just like you.
Look at her arms. Look, she got chitlin arms. Looks like someone took a sock, loaded it up with 3 pounds of Thanksgiving chitlins, and sewed it to the bottom of her arm. You guys rock our minds. It's almost like you don't see what we see. She said settling for an average man would be her settle. You know what? I don't know if to do this, but I'm going to do it a little bit today.
Another woman's standard. And all I'm saying is that why should a man have to settle for a woman with 2 kids? Because you got a business?
They don't have, Kevin, they don't have to
Look at her arms.
settle for me.
But you said you'd be settling for him.
Okay, just like you, Kevin, you say
She got a chest tattoo. This woman looks, she's in her 40s somewhere with 2 kids.
that high value men are supposed to have money, right? That's what you say. So if they don't have money, that means their value is low, right?
No.
And you go off women.
No. If you want to know, no. High value men, that's a completely different component. That's less than 10% of men.
Mm-hmm.
And high value men get high value women who are in high demand.
Right.
That's not your category.
Because I got kids, right?
You're not, ma'am. No, yes. Would you say that you're a woman that's in high demand or most wanted?
I could be. I mean, yeah, I could be. I mean,
You could be.
Can I tell you about myself?
Hold on. Ma'am, you're 37 with 2 children. Mm-hmm. Where in the world do women who are average to above average look, average to cute?
What the fuck is this?
Who are a little overweight with 2 kids, where are these women in high demand?
Kevin, I'm working on myself. So if
No, ma'am, I asked a very specific question. It's not, no, because you're working on yourself. That's fine, but that doesn't mean you're in high demand.
I can get there, can I?
Look at this woman. She believes it. She believes that there's something she can do on this planet to resemble the caliber of woman that high-value men are attracted to. We are talking about likely the top 10% of earners in America. When we say sickness, we do mean sickness.
And see,
so you mean to tell me if I can lose 20 pounds and
80 years ago with a woman in your position, even without the children, 80 years ago would a woman in your position be with the top 10% man?
You said
80 years ago. 80 years ago. Would she be with a man in the top 10% of all men? 80 years ago.
Yeah.
No. There are a limited amount of these men to go around. Ma'am. So this is what I want you guys to understand, especially in the Black community. You're an average woman by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's being fair. Average at best is more likely the term. Average at best would be pretty fair.
Okay,
but listen.
I'm listening.
She's average looking, overweight, and has 2 children. And she believes that there's something she can do to turn herself into the caliber of woman that the top 10% of earners in America are attracted to. This woman could not get a hood nigga to marry her. There are no hood niggas who would deal with this. She's not attractive enough. Even hood niggas have better options than this. This woman has a 48-year-old grandmama look. Even how she wears her hair. This woman looks like a grandmama.
But the issue is, so I got to settle for an average man. That's not settling. That's getting what you can afford to buy on the sexual marketplace.
Shout out to my girl Sandra down here rocking with us.
What do I do?
Be reincarnated. You can't get one. 37 with 2 kids. If they're less than 10% of the men, why would he pick you over a woman with no children?
But Kevin, I talk to pretty good high value. I go on dates with high caliber men.
Yes, they will go on dates with you. They will talk to you. They'll have sex with you.
We talk about marriage. We talk about marriage.
I want you to understand this is what the issue is because I the sexual marketplace.
Okay.
I'm trying to do something, people.
That's not settling. That's getting what you can afford to buy on the sexual marketplace.
Okay. So if I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated. You can't get one. I'm gonna be honest, you can't. You're 37 with 2 kids.
This woman is 37 years old, looks every bit of 47. Miss you back, love. Miss you back.
They're less than 10% of the men. Why would he pick you over a woman with no children?
But Kevin, I talk to pretty good high value. I go on dates with high.
Listen, I want to ask the ladies down in the comments. Listen, you know what? Give me, you know what? Give me 2 ladies up here. Give me 2 ladies up here. I need 2 ladies up here. I need their opinion. I need your opinions. Both fingers. Give me 2 ladies up here. I have questions that men might want to know the answers to. I'm sure we do. Like, we're baffled at some things. Maybe you can help us, help enlighten us. Give me 2 ladies up here. There she go. Tell me how your night is going.
Good evening. Other than work, it's going great.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I got a question for you that you could help us all out. Men don't know what it's like to go delusional. We don't understand the concept of it, like, because men have never gotten any cushion. We've never been able to run from our realities. You know, when somebody's looking for us to beat us up, nobody comes to save us. We got to deal with that. When it's time to go to jail or something like that, we don't get a way out. We don't have any boobs to flash when the police get behind us and pull us. We have usually had to deal with our fates head on, but because society has coddled women so much, you guys have a different way of thinking. My question to you is this real that you guys can take yourselves to a place of delusion? Like, a woman who is a 5 would be calling herself a 10. Does she really believe that, or is she just saying it? Like, explain this to me.
I don't know. I really believe. Maybe they believe that somebody gotta love them. You know.
Love has nothing to do with lies. You don't have to lie to yourself. Like, this is. Listen, it makes us not like you. It makes us really not like you. Seriously. We even look down on you, like, because it's almost like we're communicating with aliens. This woman looks like she's approaching 50. She's 37 and looks like she's approaching 50. And she believes that an average man is not good enough for her. She's average or below average looking. She's overweight, and she has 2 children.
Yeah. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to tell yourself it's okay. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Do you recall a time when you went delusional?
No.
That thing has got to be
I said I'm a
vicious.
5. I said I'm 5 on a good day. That's how I carry myself.
Yeah, that's very abnormal.
see
We
me.
we can't get very unattractive women to admit they're at 5. So that's you
You see
just
me.
yeah. I mean, you just grew up different. Like I don't know what the hell. Like we really want somebody to tell us what it feels like to go delusional. Like, listen, is there any women down in the comments who have ever went through a phase in life to where they can admit that they've, now that they look back, they did some delusional things, like, you know, you experienced delusion. Forget about it.
No, if you experience delusion, I've seen women get kicked on their behind thinking that.
We can't hear you, sweetheart. We can't hear you.
That's why I never stepped on any toes. I've seen women get kicked on their behind for that because I that's why I don't step on any toes. Hey, forget about it. So I don't no. I don't carry on more than I can take.
I think you're going delusional on me now, sweet. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh no.
Hey, Sweets just spazzed out on me a little bit. It's my girl.
Not trying to be
No, I think it's just difficult. I think it's just difficult to even explain it, because if men who are logical people can't understand it, then it's probably hard to put into words. But we don't understand it. It's really beyond. It's beyond eyesight. It's beyond comprehension. Like, because this woman is serious. She's very apparently serious. And it causes us to look at you guys like we only want to have sex from you. If you guys are this messed up, it brings your value down in our eyes. And I'm talking about as a collective. But I appreciate you coming up.
Thank you.
You take care, sweetie. Nah, Kim, I'm not talking about measuring yourself. I'm talking about, I don't know, like just went delusional, period. Like believing things that aren't true, and it actually resulted in getting you to a bad place in life and things like that. And told yourself there's nothing wrong with having a multitude of sex partners just to justify the wrongs that you were living at that current time in your life. A lot of average men are kind and loving men. Just my observation. Those are the best ones. Quabina said, that is there every day. I agree.
Yes, they will go on dates with you. They will talk to you. They'll have sex with you.
We talk about marriage.
I want you to understand this is what the issue is, because I've talked about this for a year and a half, because men will deal with you. What man of value, who is a high value man recognized by other men of value, what man that fits in that category is seriously vetting you to be a wife today?
I'm talking to someone now. I'm been dating this guy now who's a pretty high value, and we've been talking.
How old is he?
He's 51.
And what makes him high value?
Let's get there.
He owns his own car dealership,
Uh-huh.
and he has multiple businesses. He owns houses. Like he's doing pretty good for himself. He's probably not rich, but
ma'am, being high value is more than just money.
He got a good head on his shoulders. He got a good personality. He take care of himself. He work out. He don't even look like he.
Oh, Jesus Christ, ma'am. I'm trying to be reasonable, but it's more than just money. And I'm saying a man why would a man? How can I say this without sounding rude? I'm trying to. Why would a man who has this going on?
My guy said, "How can I say this without being rude?"
And what state are you in?
I am in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, I just said state. But anyway, why would a man who's choose a woman like that? Okay, if you say he's high value, to me, when I talk about high value, it's not just money. It's over a period of time. It's what you do. It's also men of value must recognize you as a peer or a potential peer. You got to have a network of high value men and others, and you must be useful to others in a group. So you judge a man not just on his money, by his network, by other men who say, yeah, that's a man of value. He's a mover or shaker, a most eligible. Okay, man, but these men don't settle. They don't settle. They don't get women who are. They don't. There are men on YouTube right now saying, I don't know what I'm talking about being high value. But here's one thing that they do agree with me on. They don't take a woman with children. They don't. I've had men who vehemently disagree with me on a lot of things. They don't listen to me, but unanimously, we don't take another man's children because that's not even in their mindset. They don't. So you ladies can call it what you want, and I'm thinking, how long have y'all been dating?
2 weeks now.
I said seriously, but considering you to be a wife in 2 weeks, ma'am. Yeah.
This hack will have people believing you have photographic memory.
Talking about settling for average men. And I'll be honest.
Why do it trigger you?
Because you'd be lucky to get an average man. He would be settling for you. He would be settling for you to have to deal with you, 2 children from somebody else. Yes, ma'am, that's why. Because
say something.
No, you asked, let me finish. He'd be settling for you because you.
Because I got 2 children?
Amongst other things, yes.
I mean, I'm a good person to get along with. So
That may be, ma'am. That may be. You could be a perfectly lovely person, but there are other women who are perfectly lovely people who are childless and more physically appealing.
That's fine. Like, I mean.
So that means, ma'am, by definition, see, that's the thing. The kind of men you ladies talk about you want, they are rare. They are. For every man that falls into your category, there are thousands of women that want him. He can only have one wife. That's why.
You telling he gonna have a lot of wives? I mean,
no. He gonna have a lot. He gonna cheat a lot, but he gonna have one wife. He can only marry one person. It's called bigotry. All right, that's enough. That's enough. No, that's enough. You can only have one wife. No. That's all. You can only have one wife. Nope, you sat there and why did you marry your baby daddy? This is
We grew apart.
Quabina in this situation, you already know.
You grew softball. You grew apart. Was that before or after the second child?
The second child, we was getting into arguments and stuff.
So, and how long were y'all together?
We was together since we were teenagers.
See, that's the problem. There's another problem, man. You get no higher than your baby daddy. Because men look at a woman and then she look at her children because men say, I'm not going to go raise a lesser man's child. That's what happens.
You think all men think like that?
You think I got 1 million subscribers on each platform because I don't know what I'm talking about? You think I can do this night in, night out, and people co-sign? Ma'am, y'all would be better off to realize that more men think like this because the results show they do. You're almost like a mirror copy of Average at Best. The video that sparked a lot of this. She only had 1 kid, you got 2. Yes.
You trying to make it seem like I'm
I'm making it seem. No, I want you to understand that how we came in is the same thing that she said. You saying I would have to settle for an average man, and this is a men's platform. What do you think you were saying to all the men that are average men when you say that you will be settling for them? 50% of men are average or below. You don't have a problem offending them.
No, I don't want to offend nobody. What is
When you
talking
say
about?
you settle, okay, ma'am. If I said I settled for you, would that make you feel good?
Right.
A lot of people settle in
If I said I
relationships.
settled for, don't see when a woman doesn't answer a question directly, she's attempting to be deceptive.
Yes, I'll be mad. Yeah, I'll be mad.
Right. Thank you. So don't play with me. So when you say you're going to settle for an average man, you don't mind offending them. So I have no problem telling you why I think it's crazy for an average woman. Average, you say you're 5'6", I'll give you a 6'5", 6". Okay, fine. But all the other things, man, puts you below average. Where can I want you to listen? Let's take it away from you and me. Let's take it away from you and me and looks and everything else because it's too personal. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's reset the table. Okay, where would it make sense for a high school graduate who graduated with a C, a 2.0, a 2.0, right? Would it make sense somebody like that demanding to get into Harvard, Princeton, MIT, Stanford?
No.
Would they be settling for junior college?
First came the injection, then the searing 3-clawed beast mark burning into my arm.
Man, and feel like you're settling. You need to treat that man with respect. Because a man is worth more than a goddamn paycheck.
I would never. I mean, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, why would I disrespect them?
I'm talking about women in general. And well, you disrespected them by saying settling. That's why. That's disrespect.
But listen, the basis of the show is you guys need to consult with the men in your lives more than what you know. Way more than what you know. Look at the jams you guys get yourselves into. And if you see when Elizabeth was up here, she talks about men tricking women over and over for 20 and 30 years. If that is possible, you guys shouldn't really be allowed to think so much for yourselves. You get tricked into having 3 children by 3 different men. You are a deadly weapon. You are dangerous. If you can be manipulated into something like that. But the truth of the matter is we know that it is true. Because when I tell you guys a woman is dangerous, if you can tap into a woman's interior emotions, you can utilize her as a weapon. Think about what has to be going on inside of a woman for a man to tell a woman to walk outside in panties with stockings pulled over the panties, high heels, a fur coat, sell her body to the cars that come by, and come back in and give the man the money. That lets you know how volatile and how emotionally handicapped a woman is. If a man can truly tap in to the nature and the emotional side of a woman, you can get her to do anything. You can get her to do anything. Now, I will say this. Today's women, modern women, are different. You can get them to display their emotional handicap without a man being involved. Look at how they're moving in society today. Look at how they're moving in society today. All right, people. We at the almost a 4-hour mark. There is no way this show should have been this long. We're about to get up out of here. I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Said broken females are the easiest. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You tap into a woman, man. Listen, you lay that pipe on her real good. But here's the thing. Even laying that pipe real good on women today, it doesn't have the same effects that it had like years ago, because these women have such high level cock intake to where you could blow a woman's back out today and it's hard for her to even get sprung. It's hard for a lot of them to even nut. Not only are their backs getting completely blew out by a multitude of dudes, even after that, they're taking these devices and jagging themselves off to where their lower parts are pretty much no good no more. Not for them anyway. A man can get off on anything, so we can use and abuse you, but you won't be able to reciprocate any gratification towards the men because you won't be able to receive any of the pleasure. It'll be harder for you to receive the pleasure that you're receiving because you've done so much damage to yourself psychologically and physically down there. Usually when you really hit a woman correctly, it'll cause her to respond to you in a certain way. She might start doing you things. She might start buying you gifts. She might start treating you better than she typically treats a man. She'll start exhibiting all of the behaviors that is associated with, I want to make sure that I have access to this guy often, right? But these women today, their backs have been blown out by so many men, they're pretty much sexually desensitized. High level cock intake. Most of these women have had a high level cock intake. Think about it. Amazon in the building supporting the show. Quabina rocking with us up in this situation. Supporting the show with the gifts. Boy, Elizabeth over there cutting up. Hey, Elizabeth, don't forget to subscribe to the show. Yeah, the freak said it's probably more about the experience for them now and not the orgasms. A lot of them can't even come anymore, man. A lot of these women have burnt themselves out, broken themselves. Migraine. All right, people. You already know what it is. How to show online. Listen, those of you who have not subscribed as a member to the YouTube, you won't have access to shows like this because they go under the membership banner afterwards. And only members will be able to go back and watch the replays and things of that nature. Watch our hottest clips. So those of you who want to become members of the YouTube, go over to the thing, click the member. It's $2.99 a month. The badges that you see at the top right-hand corner, those are the badges you get. The white one is the one you get for initially becoming a member, and the black and gold one is after your month of being a member. And we are, if nothing else, out of here.